Alright, here we go. This is it. Kappa Council episode 10. It's been 6 weeks since the last episode, but we are finally back with a very spontaneous one. Usually they happen on Sundays, but the idea is that they happen whenever we can get people together. Today we got people together on a very short notice. We have with us today, as always, Scorch13. But the big ones, not in body size or body weight or anything like that, but in their fame, I think, is Lou90 and Cappuccino. Cappuccino, you've been here before, but welcome both of you. It's great to have you here.
Yeah,
thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for having me and Kappa here.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll start. Lou90, you are. I say Lou90 because that's what it says on the screen, but I guess I'll just call you Lou.
Yeah.
You stream a lot, but you also play in basically every tournament I think we've seen, as well as the monthly cup that we're going to talk about. Tell the people like who you are and where they can find you and stuff like that.
Yeah, I come from Austria. I'm 26 years old, and you can find me on Twitch TV Lou90, same as YouTube. And yeah, I play in almost all tournaments where I can get in, and yeah, try to make some content for the community as well.
Yeah, you put up a lot of videos as well on YouTube. That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of people keep saying they've seen your videos. They've been helpful, good tutorials, stuff like that. Cappuccino, the champ, the champ of the monthly cup. A lot richer, a lot happier, maybe. You can start by saying who you are and where they can find you.
Okay, I'm it's Cappuccino on Twitch and for YouTube. I stream the qualifiers, and every once in a while you'll catch me doing Pandora streams, and sometimes I play ladder. I participate in all the monthlies. The most recent one I got first place in, with a little bit of luck and a
lot of skill. A little bit of luck,
yeah.
A lot of skill. Right?
I like to think it was just a little bit of luck. Maybe it was a bit more. And yeah, Twitch and YouTube, it's Cappuccino.
Yeah. So let's just kick it up. Like, how does it feel to have won the monthly cup now?
It feels really good because Helios used to make fun of me for getting knocked out like round 1 or round 2. So I finally can be like, yeah, well look, I won one and you haven't.
But
it feels pretty good.
I mean, you've been a little bit like cocky, right? Like in this way that you've been not playing the qualifiers, but been like, I don't need to play the qualifiers. I'll stream them. I'll commentate them. I'll just take number 1 spot on the ladder, and that way qualify to the monthly cup.
Yeah, I guess I've been a little bit cocky and not playing in any of the qualifiers, but I mean, I think I'm allowed to be when you're getting number 1 every season.
Yeah, you have a point. You have a point. Tell us how was the tournament for you? How I mean, we can even look at the brackets. I actually even have them prepared. I mean, we streamed the monthly cup just like 2 days ago. Monthly bracket. I think I have them right here. Yeah, you guys have the link on Skype, right? So you can just check it out if you want to see what we're talking about here. But for you guys watching this on YouTube or right now live on stream, yeah, I'm trying to find where you started. Down there, bottom left almost. You started by defeating Frodaddy in a 3-2 series, which it wasn't streamed on our stream, so we didn't see that match. But 3-2, I mean, the results at least tell us that that one could have been close. Same with the second game, 3-2. It was first in the semi-final. No, wait, it was in the... Oh, you went 3-0 in the quarterfinal, and then 3-1 in the semi-final, and then we had a, kind of close game in the grand final as well. It felt very close for us watching it, at least, because Imperia was coming back there. But yeah, tell us about the road there.
All of my series were really rough, because I went 2-0 and then 0-2 in almost all of my series, except for the last few.
Feeling.
It's like... My red mid-range managed to do really well, and then the deck that I thought was just the strongest deck going into the tournament, the Yellow Archer deck, surprisingly, it let me down in the tournament, and then I recovered with blue every time. So it was like, okay, go 2-0 with red, lose with my yellow, I'm like, damn. And then I come back with the blue, and, I was just able to make the blue work to always come back.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was kind of close series all throughout, because my red deck ended up having the best results, but after I lost with it, I'm like, oh crap, is this going to be the reverse sweep?
I mean,
in the back of your mind every time.
I mean, it's gotta be a lot of pressure, each match, each series being having that pressure, having those thoughts, and maybe doubting, is this deck gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Oh shit, he's coming back. I'm losing. How the grand final was like that, right? Like you took the first two. I'm going off the back of my head now, but you took the first, right? Wasn't it? God.
No, he lost.
Am I making
the
a
first
fool out of
one.
myself?
Yeah, against Imperia, I think I lost with my red deck to start.
Oh, is it the other way around? Oh crap, I am so bad.
Yeah, he got, I think, a big buff with Tetra. Was it?
I wasn't there, right? I wasn't there.
Charger.
This is a very cool deck Imperia used.
There's so many games we watched, that's why it's...
It all jumbles together at the end.
Yes.
He won with this 3-wish, and then I came back with the Yellow Archer to beat the 3-wish, and then he came out with...
we gotta give it to...
He played red last.
We gotta give it to Imperia, though. He had to me the most impressive deck of the tournament. His 3 wishes. The first game we watched with him, we were like, this is yellow, and then we're like, wait, he's putting down forest. He's putting down green. Okay, is it? And we were like, well, he was gonna have a surprise. Okay, so I guess yellow with splash of green, and then wait, 3 wishes? What the fuck?
If you follow the French scene a bit, you probably know that they run this list and like it. I watch
it's the French people.
yeah, and they like the Archer wish list. So,
when I ran into Kantic, he was running the same deck. I was like, oh, okay, well, because I ran into Kantic, I have a pretty good idea of what Imperia's playing, and it turned out they were really similar.
I see. So how it's a good question, or a good point I think Imperia himself is raising, that once you get to the grand final, it's the match with the least amount of pressure.
I would agree, yeah. I wasn't in the spot, but don't have much to lose.
In terms of your pride on the line, being first or second, you feel good either way, so you don't have to worry about your pride being hurt, but I mean, it's still $500 you're competing for, so at least to me, it seemed like a very important match for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but even if you lose, you're like $1,000 richer. Well, in your case, you were $150 plus whatever you took from the grand final, because you took the bounty of Sweetie in the semifinal. Yeah. Lou, then, Maybe we should have started with you. But what's your take on the tournament? You ended up going into the
I was in the quarterfinals.
Round of 8,
quarterfinals against Imperial. So my first match against Teddy, who is our new recent teammate in Equilibrium. I had pretty good draws and had an easy 3-0 with Wishes as my first deck. And then I had an incredibly close series against Safewood. It came down to the last deck, and it was super close. Then the match against Imperia, I won the first one, which was the Wish Mirror, and I was actually super confident that I would take that series. But so my counter deck to his blue deck would have been the Archer list, but I made a tactical mistake. He was playing Farm Boys as his buff targets, and my mistake was that I went aggressive with a Dune Drake, because usually that's not a bad idea, because you can kill the blue token creatures before they buff them, but you can play the Farm Boy earlier than other creatures that require 2 lakes, and so I got punished for that with going aggressive with a Dune Drake, and I don't know, in the last game, I also didn't do that well.
But it was your personal best though. Like you've been unlucky in the previous monthly cups, going out quite early. So I was sitting here going like, this is the monthly Lou does it. I was thinking.
I was in the other quarterfinals as well against Gravekeeper, and it was a 3-2 dropped out against him. And in the first one, I went out second round, but I wasn't well prepared then. I don't know. Monthly Cup doesn't suit me. I came to 2 finals in the ESL Cup, which I was pretty happy about. And we'll see how it goes from now.
There's a difference in the there's a difference in the format, is it? Like what? Or does ESL run exactly the same?
Monthly Cup is best of 5 always.
And what does ESL do? They do
ESL
best
of 3
okay.
and best of 5 finals.
I see. All right, so they do best of 3 to make it a little bit faster, probably. Because monthly cup was best of 3 the first time.
Yeah, the monthly cup used to be best of 3, but it favors counter decks a bit more than best of 5. With best of 3, if you win the first match, no matter what they counter deck you with, you get the counter deck afterwards, and then you win the set. So in best of 3 is like counter decking is just pretty big.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that both the people that were looking at this, people might be wondering what the green numbers are. So Cappuccino in the semifinal defeated Sweetie. He was coming out of top 2 from the previous monthly cup. Well, actually being the champion, and so they have a bounty on their head, which means that if you defeat them in the next monthly cup, you get $150 by just defeating them. No, like. That's just like a bounty you can claim. And Imperia did the same. He took Modnik's $150 bounty, and both of you guys ended up in the grand final, which I thought was pretty great. And I like this bounty system. What do you guys think? I think it adds a lot of spice to the tournament. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's also good that like people who you wouldn't expect in the finals have a chance to make money. So that's probably the coolest part about it, because the monthly cup itself allows people through all the different methods to get in, like community votes, or if you're good on ladder, and then even if you get the winner from the last time, and you maybe have a lucky best of 5, you can win that and take home $150. So that's pretty nice, I think.
Yeah, I love it from
exactly.
From the casting perspective, because you always want to build up matches beforehand, and it gives us something great to discuss. Like, when players have faced before, or this bounty system, it's just like adds that extra, like you said, that bit of spice to the matchup before it even starts.
Yeah, it seems like people in Twitch, I think it's an awesome feature as well. What do you think, guys in Twitch, guys on YouTube? Like, put that in comments. What's your thought on having a bounty system like that? I haven't heard anybody complain about it. I think everybody thinks it's a cool, great feature. Was it Sweetie who came up with the idea? Well, it was somebody on, I think after the first monthly cup, there was a lot of feedback and a lot of discussions on Discord, and I know it was somebody, one of the players who like, well, why don't you put a bounty on the head of the ones who win? And they're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So I think it's another proof that developers do listen a lot to the feedback, which I think is great.
Yeah. I was going to say, before we get too much off of the monthly cup, Lou, I wanted to know what went into you bringing that blue-green 3 Wishes deck.
It was a last-minute decision, and
because it just seemed kind of like way off.
Yeah, I used it in the last monthly cup as well, actually, because I always thought Wishes very strong, but there's so many ways to make it work. Now I just discovered a Sec Wish list, which really is fun for me to play. And I made it to some higher god ranks with that. But it was a 50-50 decision. Last tournament I didn't bring red. I had a yellow archer. The previous tournament I had yellow archer, wish, and blue. And now I had, instead of blue, the red deck. And I don't know, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I should have brought blue because I got 3-0 by blue, I think. Yeah, I got 3-0 by blue. My teammate Modnik, I think, also lost 3-0 to blue, so maybe I underrated blue for a while. I don't know.
Because it's a very similar list to what we used to see with like the Apex Predator list, isn't it? But it just runs 3 witches.
It's just the core. The enchantment synergy is very strong. Yeah. It's the thought behind enchantment decks is that the harvesting creatures are very tanky with the high health, so it's hard to bring them down. And which decks really need to have a stable early game so that they have harvesting creatures that survive. And you can also make them into big threats to defend against something like mid-range. You can turn a Willow into a 7/7 and maybe get 2-for-1 trades. So that's the thought behind using the enchantment synergy as a base for the deck. Like you saw the French guys who took the archer list as a base, which is also a good approach. It's a bit more risky, I would say, but yeah, it's just that I thought Wish is very strong, and yeah, it was in the end it was a 50-50 decision.
Try to bring something different to surprise people.
Yeah, that sounds like me with Ninja Toto TK. I was 50-50 to bring it. It was like what? My third deck to bring was Ninja Toto TK, mono green, or red. And I was like, I don't know which one I want to bring. It's either red, green, or OTK.
Man, if you brought OTK, I would be
Helios
a fanboy forever.
Helios was finally like, come on, Cap, don't troll, just bring the red. Like, all right.
Hey,
all
maybe
right.
you made the right decision, eh?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, my teammate had my back. So I think the OTK and green would have done well as well.
Oh, it would have been so much fun. How important is it to go into a monthly cup and try to bring a surprise, or keep the secret of what you're bringing? Like, how much information do you think is out there? How important is it to try and know something that the rest of the starting field doesn't?
Oh, it's very important, because not only does the opponent not know for sure if he wins in a race scenario, but he doesn't know what cards to play around. Like, if you bring out a deck with yellow, they don't know if you have 1 nightmare, 2 nightmares, 3 nightmares, whether you have none of them, whether you have choking. So, like, to bring a deck that's not a popular deck has a huge impact as an advantage, I think.
Mm-hmm. So I want to say it's like poker then. Like, information is so key. The more you know of your opponent's cards, the obviously the more qualified guesses you can make on what is the right play.
One very good example would be the first monthly cup where Sweetie won, where you guys brought the new version of Yellow Control.
With the mobility and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
Really strong, and people still were in the old meta, and you basically were a step ahead. And I'm pretty sure that was one of the main reasons why he did so well there. Of course, both
the finalists had that list.
Yeah,
actually.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Helios, Sweetie, and myself all brought the same decks, and I think Helios and Sweetie were first and second. Sadly, I was knocked out. But yeah, I think even our Apex list was different than what everyone had been doing at the time. So when we brought out the Yellow Fanatics and the Apex, it was like more mid-rangey than anyone else.
I was going to say, even in the mono blue that we saw just in this cup, the Sunken Tower edition was something new that we kind of hadn't seen before. And was
I used
great.
it in the last monthly cup before that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the Sunken Towers had been seeing a lot of play, and Helios and I always looked at Sunken Towers just being worse than Banquet, and like you didn't really want it because it depleted your hand, and everyone at the time was playing blue, so you don't want it in blue first blue normally. But with this yellow Archer deck now seeing a lot of play, it's like, wait, Sunken Tower is amazing against Archers, and like it's decent in the mirror. And so, yeah, we started adding it into our blue because we just figured it was really good against Yellow Archer.
It's a really fun card because it changes the whole dynamic of what the trade range is. Like usually, you can jump that far, but everything increases by 1 tile, so it becomes a whole different game when it comes to positioning. It's super hard to play around.
I think this is one of the strengths of Faeria as a game, because people obviously all the time compare this to, I'm just gonna say, other card games, and here's, this is such a, I keep saying this, this is probably the 10th time in 3 days now over the weekend I've said that Faeria to me is 60-70% board game, and that card, like the Sunken Tower, just shows that, movement, ranges, like there's so much board game mechanics in this game that makes such a huge difference. And so mobility, like we see things in this game that we don't see in regular card games, because this isn't a regular card game.
It's like chess where you get to pick your pieces, and your pieces are just cards in this situation.
Imagine that. Chess, where you get to pick how many kings, queens, horses.
I'm not gonna lie, I would cap out on the amount of queens I could have. Definitely 3 of the queen.
I don't know. You could just go unlimited kings, and then you just never lose.
I'm just gonna build a wall with towers.
But don't you lose once one of your kings die?
I don't know.
So if you have multiple kings, is that
Maybe
extra life? Is that like, checkmate 1, checkmate 2? We have a new game, I think. Somebody has to make that. Kickstarter, go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I mean, we're going to talk about ESL, and I'm also very curious to hear from you, like, now that we have 2 amazing competitive players on the cast here, it's so nice to get your thoughts on how they compare, competition-wise, because, I as a spectator would assume that, the monthly cup, biggest prize pool, biggest pressure, most important, ESL Cup maybe being more like, it's more user-friendly. Anyone can sign up for it, so it's obviously easier for anyone who just want to get the experience to get in there. Less prize money, maybe less pressure. So is that more like a training practice round tournament for you guys, or how does that work?
Yeah, for me, for example, like this weekend, I brought some more kind of fun decks and more experimental things, like my new Sacrifice Wish. Then I had King Dance's Combat Red, which he also used. But I wouldn't say it's the tier 1 deck. So yeah, I don't take it that serious. But on the other hand, I also think I don't take Monthly Cup serious enough. I think I should prepare more. And I'm really unhappy so far with my performances. So maybe for the next one, I will hopefully try harder.
You heard it here first. Next monthly, Lou is the champ.
No, it's just super time consuming to test all the different matchups, to find the tech cards that you want. It's really, if you want to bring the perfect decks, it's very time consuming to figure everything out, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. In terms of the difficulty and skill and like how the ESL and Monthly Cup plays out against each other, I think when you have best of 5s, it will get into more of a skill matchup. But that said, like Keen Danz, I think hasn't played in the last 2 Monthly Cups, and he's one of the best players in the game, and he's playing in the ESL Cup. Mm-hmm. So if you want to play against one of the best, he's not really playing in the Monthly Cup. So
yeah,
in terms of, I'm able to dodge King Dan's by playing in Monthly Cups, and I go up against him in the ESL, so it's hit and miss. What probably is harder because the players play different cups, but I think ESL as a tournament format is probably a bit more not as skill intensive in terms of not being best of 5.
It's not a. Is it so? So do you guys don't think it's maybe over exaggerated when people say King Dance one of the best players of the game?
Oh no, I think King Dance
I
for
would-
sure is one of the best.
All right. Yeah, it's just interesting. Like you know, I keep saying that too. I keep saying like King Dance. Oh, he's the one. Like he's our. I don't know. He's our Messi. You know, if you know
Wonder
football,
child.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's just amazing good.
Well, and it's the consistency too, right?
Yeah, right. But I'm still I'm based every time like when I see his name in the monthly cup. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to play this last one. But I'm just like I just want him to kind of just keep proving us all right. Right? I just want to see him perform in a monthly cup, which I guess is the measurement at the moment. But like you say, he keeps winning the ESL cups. Like he can't be that bad, and he keeps putting every season on the ladder. He's at the top. So yeah, he's really good.
Underneath me.
Well, maybe he just doesn't put in the grinding hours there. I don't know, but at the
probably.
top. I mean, how competitive is it to get into top 8 for a monthly cup?
Like through the qualifiers, you mean, or
No, like top 8 on the ladder, the ranking. Like how competitive would you guys say it is? Like
I don't know if there's a way to answer that without. I think there's a big.
Oh, you're
difference
gaming the
between,
system.
like,
That's what you're saying. All right.
I think there's a big difference between the top 4 players and say like the top 10 players. So I think there's a lot of room for really, really high-end players to come in and just like dominate in Faeria. So I would say to get top 8, any pros that get into Faeria won't struggle hard at all to get top 8. But this is kind of like it's relative, right?
Yeah, I guess. Relative to your skill.
Well,
I was going to say something that goes with that is we continue to see these invitees impress at the monthly cups too, where they're not just getting blown out in a 0-3. Super JJ was able to win. I think he won in an 0-3 on that bracket, right? In his first round. So it's he won 3-0 and then lost 3-1. So it's not like these newer players, as far as invitees go, are still able to pick it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, he got matched against a player from the qualifier, I think.
Yep.
So qualifier like also allows some newer players also to get there if they get a bit lucky with the bracket.
I mean, there's
But he
basically
took one
3
game
chances
from
to get in.
Kenfig, so yeah.
I mean, you have the ladder, you have 2 qualifiers, and now we're not even talking about whether you can get people enough people to vote you in, but like just you have 3, let's say, competitive ways to get in. Like you can either try and climb the ladder or win a spot in 2 of the qualifiers. How hard? I mean, Cappuccino doesn't know, but how hard are the qualifiers?
Well, when Cappuccino isn't in it, then
This for this monthly cup I participated in both and failed in both. So being a best of 3, it's actually you can, if you get unlucky, also drop out. So
yeah.
So the ESL is leading up to next Saturday. I mean, I can just quickly say that in the ESL Cup that happened yesterday, ESL Cup number 6, King Dance, as we've been mentioning here, he won. Foxclear came second, and Sweetie came third. Sweetie likes third spot at the moment. I mean, Sweetie must be also a name we should mention as one very, very consistent performer in Faeria.
Yeah.
I mean, he's won 2 monthly cups, and he has, is it 2 third place now as well?
No, he finished 4th yesterday.
Oh, he
Or,
was
not
4th
yesterday. Sorry, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
So
I
one
mean, he's
third
still
place, one
top
4th.
4 in all of them, but
Like I haven't done the math yet on the amount of money people have made in Faeria, but he must be up there.
I don't want to get this wrong, but I think Sweetie told me he was 17-3 as his monthly cup stats.
my God.
Really?
Yeah.
Until
I beat him,
the
he was
monthly?
17-2.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, after the
Would not
monthly,
be
he was
surprised.
17-3, I think. Before it, he was 17-2.
That's scary having that good
Well,
stats.
before I beat him, I mean. Yeah, that is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
to do that well. Definitely a very consistent player.
I mean, doesn't that pressure get to you? I mean, I guess we'll have to bring Sweetie on for an episode, but doesn't that pressure get to you to be like, shit, when am I gonna start losing? I gotta keep performing. God damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to ESL because I forget to have that up. Play ESL. Here we go. Because I think. Okay, so Saturday, 15th October is their finals, like their monthly final. So they have like, I think it's like 4 weekly cups. You get points. I mean, you can win $150, or $150 is the prize pool for the weekly cups, and you also get points. So you qualify into the ESL monthly final, which has $400 in it. And I think we should be able to see who the players are. I'm not sure how many qualify though. Is it 8 or 16
I can send you the link
players?
if you want.
You guys know? I'm looking at
It's
it now.
8 players.
It's only 8 players, so that's at least a
Yeah,
bit
top
competitive
8.
to get into then. Because I'm looking at the list. If this is correct, I'm gonna read from the top here. Well, this is 8 players. I have it open now. Arianel, Cappuccino, Donkey74, Kanthic, King Dance, Lou90, Thormond, and VTech. I actually don't know who VTech is.
I only know him from a bit of ladder and the Israel Cups, where he, like you can see, he always performed pretty well. He came very far, and I played against him, I think, 2 times or so.
This is pretty
in the
stacked.
Cup.
This is gonna be a quite interesting tournament with only money going to first and second place.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a lot of fun too, because you're talking about the Team Frost Cup, right?
Hmm?
I'm talking
No,
about
no.
going
the
for Faeria
ESL
monthly final next
that
Saturday.
Yep. Bad. Yeah, that's going to be very tough.
I mean, you're in it.
Yeah.
I want to see a Cappuccino versus King Dance showdown. That would be fun.
Yeah,
I
was
want my
gonna say
chance
that.
at redemption. He beat me with the Archer deck. I want to
Yeah.
have my chance with
What
comeback.
would a showdown look like though? Like, would it just be another best out of 5 Pantheon format, or do we?
Not just in the tournament, I mean.
But it would be
I
fun
would
with a
see
real
them.
show match. Was it Crow who's no longer?
Yeah.
I was gonna say no longer with us. No, he's fine and healthy. He's just not, in Faeria. But
Not that way.
well, it feels like we've lost him. But he and someone else, I think it was it Joke maybe? Well, they organized like a King of the Hill, or like a showdown match. I think it was best out of 7 and some interesting deck building rules and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it didn't continue, but that's definitely something that I don't know when the hell that would be organized with the amount of tournaments and cups happening at the moment. But it would be really interesting for the community, I think, if somebody picked that up and start organizing that again.
Yeah,
would be great.
the way he did is he just grabbed the 2 top players from ladder. So
That
the
was
first
it.
time he did it, it was
Yeah.
King Dance against Hithlum, which was like super hyped to watch. And then it was Helios and Hithlum, but Helios couldn't make it, so I was 3rd place and got to play in it against Hithlum.
Oh yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, they were awesome. They were super hyped. This was before we had a monthly cup and stuff like that. So this was before we had like a way for people to.
Wasn't this the
compete.
first tournament where the Pantheon format got used? I
think
think
so,
that's
yeah.
where the devs took it from. But I'm not.
I think they got
100% sure.
inspired a bit by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very similar.
Definitely. All right.
We just had a topic proposal by Remora in the chat. Any opinions on the prospect of competitive Pandora tournament?
I mean, we can say this much because I know. I think. Wait, is all of us in the old Faeria Codex Cup? I want to say I was the first one to organize a cup in Faeria. I just want to say I take credit for that. I was the first one to organize a tournament, a cup called the Codex Cup. I think it was pretty unique and fun. But
I played in that.
yeah, it was the moment it hit on Steam Early Access. I'm like, all right, next weekend cup. And that old channel has turned into we have so many people in it, but it's basically like if you're a commentator, caster, streamer that been covering any tournament and cups, you're probably in it. yeah, we're probably not allowed to leak stuff, but the only thing that I've heard, I feel like we can say that Atmas, the one who organizes a lot of these tournaments that Abrakam is behind, he's asked for opinions and input on how would a Pandora/draft type tournament look like. Like, he's been asking for opinions and input on what would we like to see, like how would they organize and structure it, like, you know. So, you know, hopefully, because I would love to see like a type of draft
I think that'd be really
tournament.
cool.
Yeah, I would like to see that. So, you know, hopefully, and you know, from the discussions on Discord way back, it's something that people have been telling or asking whether that would be, and it's something that Abrakam said that they're definitely looking to do different type of formats. So we just don't know anything other than we've been asked for opinions, and we've given some.
It would be very interesting for that kind of tournament if you could somehow show the drafting process. Like, that would maybe be interesting to build up to the games. To see,
though again, with information being important.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, then you can't really hide anything.
Yeah,
I guess the player, I think it's hard to show the drafting process like
live.
Like live, yeah, exactly, because there's so many people doing it. But so I think, you know, what's the way it would be handled. I mean, the format in itself would obviously is probably what they asked most information about. But the way that the draft would work is like you register your deck, right? And when you do that, you get to do a draft. So you draft your deck, and that's the deck you're gonna be using. And I think that's the way to do it. If you do a draft tournament, like a Pandora tournament, it should just be like Pandora, I guess. You do a draft, and yeah, then it's like a tournament tree, best out of 3 maybe, you know, with that one drafted deck, right?
Yeah, but because you first said what you think of a competitive Pandora tournament, I think there's a bit of a contradiction because with the drafting,
it's
it would
random,
be kind of fair if everyone had the same draft. That way you could also make the decisions based on that draft. Like, let's say you get red and see that lots of low creatures are in the pool, then you know removal is pretty good. Maybe something like that. But if everybody gets random draft, it can be
like
very
Pandora
drafting. Even though there's lots of skill in drafting also involved.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like you're playing Pandora, like when you're playing Pandora mode, right? Like, you don't know what your opponent's drafted or anything, and it's always, you know, that's that. I mean, that's what I think is also kind of fun with Pandora, is that, okay, what is my opponent doing here? You know, and in a tournament, you could at least make the matches best out of 3, right? So you could at least be like, oh, you played a game, now you have a little bit more information, you can adjust how you play, but obviously you can't adjust your deck, right? I mean, the thing that makes Pandora interesting from a viewer perspective, I think, is the randomness of it, right? Like, oh, who gets what treasure, and, you know, how does the swings happen and stuff like that. So I might agree that, you know, if you made like a bunch of Pandora tournaments and a bunch of constructed tournaments, the constructed ones would probably see more consistency in who wins and who does well and stuff like that. While in Pandora, you probably would see a bit more, you know, inconsistencies in who does well and stuff like that. But even then, I think there would be some, because some people are just better at drafting and playing.
It may need to see some like kind of tweaks to the drafting process, just because then you get somebody who gets a legendary and somebody doesn't, and you're just like, well, that match might be over before it even started, just based on the deck, right? It doesn't happen all the time, but it's something that could happen.
I know other games do arena or Pandora style tournaments by just having like all of the players open up the equivalent of like 80 packs, and then you form your decks from that. And they do some system that way.
The Magic way of doing it. That's the Magic the Gathering is the one I can look at. Exactly, like everybody opens. You have 8 people around a table. Everybody opens a booster pack. You know, looks at the card, picks one, and then you just clockwise move it on right to the next person, and you do that until all the boosters are opened, and you open a bunch of them. It's just like I think it's hard to do that in Faeria because of the way Pandora itself is already designed, and they probably want to keep it close to how Pandora is. It would be like a Pandora tournament.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it's an official tournament, I have no problem if to keep it as close as possible to the the Pandora experience casual or regular player just has. It makes most sense, I would say.
I think it would just be more. I think this is something they're looking at as like, okay, here's an alternative for some people who might not even be interested in competing in the other one, but also something that could be really fun and entertaining to both experience and watch. I think. I think it would be great. Like I think my feedback on the like how would it be was like, basically like. Yeah, like it would be like you register your deck, you do one draft. It's just like Pandora. The only thing I'm wondering, and I'm not sure how they would do, is how many people are going to be allowed to compete. Are we going to have qualifiers and a monthly cup? Like how many spots? I mean, how many people are going to be in it? I don't want to
go too far in content now, but we will get the new Pandora ladder, I think, for the next patch.
That's
so
true.
That could be something where you have the Pandora points. Maybe that could be something where you take the top 8 or players or so.
Yeah.
It's a bit more grindy. If I.
It's gonna be a lot more grindy because you earn a point per win, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. I would say a Pandora tournament is more a fun tournament than like super competitive, and so it's also fair to people who really grind lots of Pandora to give them a chance. Like there should be a tournament for everybody, maybe. So
Magic the Gathering is both draft and sealed. Oh, okay, yeah, they're both. There's a few different ones. Yeah. I do look at chat, but not that much. not when we're in a topic like this. But I glance at it every now and then and take your input, guys. It's nice to see you guys chatting about the topics we talk about, obviously. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, we are jumping ahead now. We'll discuss the Pandora mode a little bit more. I'm not sure if there's more to add to the competitive, the tournaments and stuff like that. But I guess we're all agreeing that it's not a negative thing if Abrakam makes an official Pandora tournament as well.
As long as this isn't like $1,000 tournament on the lines of like you're drafting whether you get lucky or not. But if they have like small tournaments that are like frequent things,
some prize money could be nice. I mean, they have some left to spare. If you remember, I think it's like they haven't even used half of that $100,000 yet, right?
Yeah, but I think my preference would be like, lots of little tournaments for Pandora just to keep things active.
Maybe
and,
something, yes, I want to see, to end this, I want them to make not a huge deal out of this, like not a huge tournament, but instead in the client, like, I don't know, every other day there's like a sit and go, like at 8 p.m. Central European time, maybe, I don't know. You can just sign up in the client and it just automatically matches people against each other. You have like maybe a tree you can see eventually in there, or maybe it's Swiss style, or I don't know, like some in-game in-client tournament, so it doesn't have to be a big spectacle with spectators and everything streaming on Twitch.
Just make it as uncomplicated as possible to get into. Yeah. And I think that will attract lots of players who might consider playing but are unsure. But if you have to register somewhere else and check in and do all the other stuff, that might turn off some.
Yeah, there's a lot of organizing with the qualifiers and monthly cups still outside of the client. And exactly. Everything in client, just like register, click, what time and such. And if you're in the client when the tournament starts, then you're thrown into your first match, and there you go, right?
But we already have to be thankful for what Faeria does. Like if you look at other card games, like there's nothing even close to from what I know. So
yeah, I definitely agree. It's pretty awesome right now. We have like every other Saturdays there's a tournament, and then there's a Sunday tournament every week.
I think now there's every weekend at the moment with the way things is set up, because the way they've done the qualifiers for monthly now is that you have the qualifiers back to back, so you have so this coming weekend is not, so it's gonna be, so here's how it's gonna be. This upcoming weekend we have ESL monthly finals on the Saturday, and I haven't checked, but maybe they're running their regular cup on Sunday, maybe.
It's on Sunday, yes.
Right? So you have two tournaments basically. Well, on Saturday it's only for qualified people, but everybody can compete on Sunday. Next weekend, on Saturday, you have the qualifier, the first qualifier for November. The second one is 29th, and on the 5th. Oh, actually, they're skipping one.
No,
there.
It's
Yeah,
not
because they reset. Yeah, it's a weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so just take off 1 week.
So I guess on the 5th we'll have another ESL, probably. I don't know. Something will happen. I just know it. Or maybe we'll have 1 weekend off there. And then the 12th November, it's gonna be monthly cup. And then 19th, 26th, gonna be qualifiers again.
It's funny, we're already oversaturated with tournaments in the Faeria scene. That's something usually other big esports titles have, but we also have the problem right now. No, it's not a problem.
I mean, it's bad. Cool. It's bad to complain. I think. I mean, for those who really enjoy this type of content, both.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, exactly. Both playing
great.
it loves it, and those of us who loves to watch esport, watch high competitive games. We get that. So. It is pretty sick.
I think I agree with the earlier point that like having another day where there's something just set up every night would be great for like Pandora
during the week.
It's like
days,
Thursday night Pandora, and it's like
Thursday night Pandora
at 8.
Right? Yeah. There we go. Thursday night Pandora. Copyrighted quickly. License it.
I was gonna say, Heavy said in the chat, costs 1,000 gold to enter. So maybe you could do it like that because it's a Pandora.
That would be a great gold sync, actually. Maybe not 1,000
to
gold,
buy
but
into
let's
the
say
tournament.
500 gold to enter the cup, and let's say you
and
win.
The reward is a dragon orb.
And if you win a game, you get maybe 2-3 battle chest booster packs, and then like have some rewards depending on how far you go, and something like that.
No, winner take all.
Winner
gets all the gold.
Damn.
That could be really good for someone.
That first place match is really gonna matter now.
Yeah, that first place match is really big.
Shit.
Night for Hugh.
Yeah, but Atmas is in Twitch chat. He brings up a point, even though he's using Kappa. Are you sarcastic? Night for who? EU or NA? But that's the thing. It's obvious. Yeah, but it's like Thursday night, Pandora, 8 p.m. Central European time. Next one is like Tuesday night, and that's maybe American. I don't know. Like, I mean, you can obviously set up more than one of these. I think if it's in the client and if it's something easy to do. Obviously, they need to be. I think they need like 3 different ones during a week. If they're small, sit and go, easy to join tournaments in the game client, then you need just to basically spread them out a little bit. Have like one for Europeans, one for Americans, and one for the Pacific region, I guess we could say. And heck, some people like me sometimes, like the other, I think it was Sunday to Monday here, I ended up streaming and playing until like 6 in the morning, so I could have played in that Pacific one. So that would have been great.
Yeah. I mean, you could just run 2 tournaments on the same day. So like
you can
Thursday
do that too. Yeah.
would have you can either register to the NA one or the EU one, and there'll just be 2 of them that you can only register to one of.
Or both if you manage to, right? Like, I mean, if you want to, like, like that's usually like I'm again just thinking about poker, and that's the way, like, the sitting goes are not 1 per day, right? The EC the daily tournaments are not 1 per day. Like they have like different time slots and everything because there's just people all around the world who wants to play. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000 gold, 500. I think 500 gold is better because it's lower and easier for a broader casual audience to enter if we want if we want to have a sign-up fee, if they want to add a gold sync to it. Yeah, alright. Okay, nobody is allowed to say anything more about this, or we're going to be stuck with this forever.
Yeah.
But this is great. Great comments, great opinions, and great discussions. Alright, so we'll move on, and so I guess what we're going to do... I mean, I ask the guests like where they think the meta is at, and like if the current meta is fun or if something should be done. But hey, we basically know there's gonna be some balance change is happening on the 12th, so there's no point really in debating whether current meta is what it is or whatever. So we'll probably for the next episode discuss what happened with the meta. That's probably more interesting. We'll go through the... should we go through the Pandora changes first, maybe? Since we're on Pandora, kind of.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Thank you. But it's, I mean, I don't feel like it's too big of a change. Like, I don't think it's much of a balance change. But, alright, so they released a news article saying, I'm just reading off from it here. We've been saying for a long time now that the Pandora ranking system and overall structure has been somewhat temporary as we work out the best model that fits this limited format. We are finally ready to reveal the next steps forward for Pandora and the changes you can expect coming in version 0.9. And this version 0.9, guys, is hitting on Wednesday the 12th, and that's all we know. Actually, we don't know the time yet. I actually did, before the episode start, poke Atmas, went like, do we know what time on Wednesday? But yeah, we don't. But he didn't say they didn't know, he just said he couldn't share. I'm like, man. So improving Pandora, yeah.
I think the developers are European, right? So it'll be sometime in the morning for most of the NA guys, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that, you know, they don't want to commit to a time to, like, officially. They probably have one in mind, but, you know, in case of something happening and they need to work, you know, all of Wednesday as well on fixing something, or getting something in that they were not planning to get. You know, it's game development. Shit could happen, right? So. Yeah, I'm hoping. It's,
when they released the solo changes, it was like midnight of the day, so it was 8 p.m. here. So my stream
if that happens,
night ended up being even better.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, if that happens, I can't go to bed tomorrow night. Like, that's gonna suck. But I mean, yeah, I can't wait. Actually, we'll probably be streaming all day, all night long here on Metagamingtv, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it hits. Because I bet we'll be playing. Alright, so what they're saying here is, when we announced Pandora a few months ago, we knew that it would be a centerpiece of Faeria's experience. And as part of our testing, we introduced Phantom Coins, which allowed you one free run a day. While initially intended to be a temporary system that pushed as many players into Pandora as possible, we've decided to keep them around, albeit with some changes. We've wanted Faeria to be a game where players can enjoy a free draft every single day, and we will preserve that. Phantom runs have given us the ability to gather a lot of data and feedback from our community, as well as being warmly welcomed and popular. Thank you for this. However, when looking at the broader picture, Pandora runs in their current state generally lack the appeal a draft should have. A draft should be thrilling and exciting due to the entry cost you put at risk and the rewards resulting from your performance. At the same time, it should be a fair way to grind and expand your collection. After many considerations and internal testing, we are now ready to unveil what will be the next iteration of Pandora that will make its way in version 0.9 on October 12th. So what they're doing here is, well, I mean, first of all, they're keeping the Phantom coin as a thing, and I think that's great.
Yep.
I think
it's
that's
a great way to encourage people to try out Pandora when they normally wouldn't.
The only thing that happened last night
and
was that I was streaming and I did Pandora, and I had like 2 or 3, like 2 wins, 2 losses. Oh well, 3 losses then. Like I had like pretty shit runs after having like a good one, and I was like, what do I do? And somebody like, oh, use the Phantom coin, and I'm like, oh, and I did, and I got like a good draft, it felt like, but I lost very closely, and when I lost that second game, I'm like, oh man, you know, and then it ended. I was like, oh shit, it was a Phantom coin. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I mean, it gives people a chance to test it out. So.
Yeah, when I started with Hearthstone, I was super afraid for my first arena round because I had little gold, and I was so afraid that I would go out of gold and can't play anymore. I think this is just great. It takes away pressure for new people, and I really like the way they do it with Faeria. It's you have the more rewarding Pandora runs, but you also have the low risk Phantom runs where you can just try your best, and it's a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I say for like newer players, is to try out the Phantom Run. Just it's free, you know, there's no pressure. You can see cards, combinations that you'd like to play in ranked, and then use that to start building your collection outwards. I think it's a great thing for new players coming in to get some information before they even start playing competitively, ranked or unranked, whichever.
Mm-hmm. I just want to totally out of the blue here say thank you Blowenthal for subscribing to us. Yeah, we don't run any follow, like no notifications, because we're recording this to put this on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube now, we just got a subscriber on Twitch. Yay! I feel like, you know, when somebody does subscribe, I really do want to say thank you. And it's really cool, this new feature on Twitch where people in countries where they have Amazon Prime, they now call it Twitch Prime on Twitch. Like, it's integrated, and you basically, anyone who has that, maybe you don't know. So if you're looking at this right now or whatever, and you have Amazon Prime, which I can't get because they don't have that in Sweden, but if you have that, you can actually go to your Twitch settings somewhere and, like, you know, synchronize that or connect that, and you'll get some cool emotes and badges on Twitch, and you'll also be able to subscribe to a partner Twitch channel for free. Like, it's included. You get like a free subscription. You can just choose anyone who you want to support. So thank you. He's the second one I know that has chosen to support us, so love you. It's awesome.
And now that we're a bit off topic, there's one thing we forgot about the tournament, and it was the Frost Cup, which is on Friday.
Yeah, what is that? I feel I missed something.
Team Frost will host the tournament. I think it's €50 prize money, if I'm not mistaken, and it will be a Conquest and Pantheon format, and it will be a sealed draft, I think. But it's just some cards are restricted.
They're trying to do something different then. They're trying to
get
it's
something different. Yeah, it's a limited draft.
Oh wait, so it is a draft somehow.
It'll also be streamed. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to build your own deck, but it's restricted. You don't have all the cards available. They will announce that later. It's, I think, 50 minutes time for deck building.
Oh. Yeah, that's interesting.
You build 3 decks, and after you win one game, you have to choose the next deck. So that's, I think, the Conquest format, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
When which time on Friday is this?
It's 6 p.m. CST. I don't know which Twitch channel.
Do we have a announcement of this somewhere? It must be on Reddit. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Lou, have they posted it? Because I mentioned it slightly, but
I told him to post it on Reddit, but I think he might forgot it, or I don't know, is going to do it later.
Well, they should get that out as soon as possible.
It's something most people don't know about, but should know.
I think they were waiting.
Briefly saw mention in Discord, I think.
Yeah, they were waiting to confirm that the times worked for all the players before they did the announcement.
So they've kind of been poking players around to see if they actually get a starting field.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's Friday at 9 a.m. PDT.
Yeah, or 6 p.m. CST, I think.
All right. Well, if they do get a announcement up and they get a link up, if they are listening or somebody is listening, whenever there's a post or announcement of this cup, please on Discord send me a private message with a link, because then I can also include that in the description of this video on YouTube, so that actually people might find it, or more people might find it or hear about it. So that would be great. All right. Let's continue. So Pandora runs. Back to that. The goal of Pandora runs is to allow our players to play on an even battlefield and expand their collection size while trying to reap extraordinary rewards. There we go. A Pandora run is now as following. So now it's 200 gold, or starting on Wednesday when the patch hit, it's 200 gold or $1.49. I guess that's the equivalent of 200 gold. The length of a Pandora run is now 9 wins, 3 losses. It used to be 12 wins. The ranking system has been removed from Pandora entirely. You will now accumulate Pandora points instead that are rewarded according to the amount of total wins in each of your runs. These do not affect matchmaking. The rewards of Pandora Run are now, and I will put links to these news articles in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. I'll freaking link it on Twitch right now for those of you watching live. So 0 wins, actually. So I guess there's been a lot of feedback on this, but 0 wins still give 1 Pandora point. 1 battle chest and 80 gold. I guess this is so that you get something for the gold you've invested to play. I mean, 0 wins is still means you played 3 matches, but you lost, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think...
You actually still get a ton of... like, you basically get 180 gold worth back.
You get
for
really good value, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And also... But I don't think you get any of this. We don't know, I guess, but you don't get any of this, I think, if you throw the run away. I don't think you do.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, this seems a bit weird that you get 180 gold value for 200 gold plus a Pandora point.
Because you're thinking you could just...
Surrender, buy a run, surrender, like...
I think that's been
like
feedback on Discord. I remember seeing somebody being like, hey, so now I can just basically buy myself Pandora points. Theoretically. But, yeah, I don't think so. That would be horrible if that was the case. I'm going to assume as we're bringing this up and as we have at least one community manager watching, he will be like, yeah, that seems broken. So let's assume it's not going to be like that. 1 win, 2 Pandora points, 1 battle chest, 90 gold. There's a lot to go through here. 2 wins, 4 Pandora points. I'm just going to do that. 3 wins, 7 Pandora points. 4 wins, 11 Pandora points. 5 wins, 16 Pandora points. 5 wins, 16 Pandora points. 6 wins, 22 Pandora points. 7 wins, 29 Pandora points. 8 wins, 37 Pandora points. 9 wins, 46 Pandora points. There's also battle chests and gold increasing here in amount and value as you get more wins. Then each season, which is a month, this will be reset most likely the same time as the regular ranked season is. You'll receive seasonal rewards based on the Pandora points you have. Those will be closed. The rewards that you will get at the end of a season will be disclosed once this patch hits the shelves. You'll be able to track your seasonal ranking on esports.faeria.com. So people have been saying like, oh, the ranking is gone, and it's kind of worded like that in this news piece where they say, oh, the ranking is removed, but it's not an elo based ranking, but you will be able to still see where do I rank up based on the amount of points I've accumulated. So I guess that will be a type of ranking, but like some people say, some people have more time than others, so some people have more points just based on the amount of games they put in. Okay, thoughts here.
Well, I imagine, like, the leaderboard right now for Battle has games played listed and all of that, so I imagine the leaderboard for Pandora will still just be the person with the most points is number 1, but there'll also be a games played next to it, I imagine. So
some more stats to it. That would be interesting.
Anyone that cares about bragging to be like, hey, I'm 2nd place, but I've played half the games of the first player.
Right? Yeah, I think, Atmos, Abrakam, if you're watching this, we assume you've thought about it, but yeah, more stats always better, so we would love to see, like, win-lose ratio, stuff like that, right? Because you never really lose points.
If I may add something to this, I would also really like for the ranked ladder to see that we maybe somehow see the win rate or the wins and losses for each season individually. That would be pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yes, certainly.
More stats
every
on all of
season
it.
is a different meta. Maybe like someone like me who streams and plays fun decks has a lower win rate because I try out stuff. I don't really try hard when I stream. And when there's a new season and you get really motivated and want to try hard and you get a super high win rate, you can't even show that off. So if we could split the seasons with statistics, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think all streamers know that dreadful feeling of looking at your win rate when you've had people suggest you play like boulder thrower decks and these weird things. You're like, oh, my win rate.
Or like when we try and make a draft fun by, hey, let's just pick the left card.
Yeah. I want to try that out and see what it actually...
Two things I really want to see is a snapshot of the ladder. Like, we haven't been able to see any snapshots of ladders for all of the previous seasons, right? I would like to see just the snapshot that they take as a permanent drop-down list that you can look at later. Sort of like what they... Did they?
Yeah,
You
we
saw
used to
that?
have that for the earlier patches. Before we had the live ladder, they only showed the season ending.
They
Oh, yeah,
show the top.
Yeah.
In the
Wasn't
Faeria
it? Wasn't
Friday.
it like even weekly? Yeah, weekly. They
it was-
showed
Yeah.
It was
the
weekly,
top
yeah.
30, maybe.
30, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to bring that back as just like a drop-down list, but only for the season ending, because like it might not matter a lot, but it's kind of cool to go back and see how players have done
Yeah,
each season
I
and where
agree.
they placed. So that would be
Yeah.
really cool. And then for the Pandora leaderboard, it would be really cool to see what color card they play the most of. So, like, let's say the number one guy, there would be a another listing, and it'd be like blue, yellow, red, or green, and that would be his most picked color card.
Yeah, it would be fun with
In-depth
just. I
stats
just
if
want to
you
have
click
a
on
lot of
person.
stats. Like, heck, you can even have
Yeah.
that in your in the client in player profile. You could have like, oh, you played this percentage of blue. You played this percentage of green. You know.
Yeah, you could just do that. And they do like the 5-point graph, and it just shows
Mhm.
like they played
Yeah.
this much blue. Like
Yeah.
it pulls out. I don't know what that graph is called. but-
Pie chart.
no, it's not a pie
No?
chart. 'Cause it's
Yeah, it's a bit different.
There's a few graphs.
Like
It's-
most RPGs have this where you distribute the stats. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
because
that-
it's like
people love this
it
shit.
has
It's- It's kind of a web chart, only it's not
Yeah.
exactly a web chart. But yeah, as long as they have the colors and the percentage of cards played of that color, they could just have all 5 colors listed in a row with the
Yeah,
percentages
exactly.
underneath. So
Yeah.
like even just something as basic as that would be really nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Talking about ranks, I think I didn't play Faeria for. I must have been up to 2 weeks because I went abroad. I went
that
to the island of Madeira and I came back. I was ill. I think it must have been like 2 weeks because I got just before I left. I got to God rank in Pandora, and I think I entered at like 40, number 40-ish. Came back, was like 200. I just dropped. The elo had dropped so much. I was like, oh man, the decay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a reset. I like the point system. Somebody asked in Twitch chat, like, what's the point in resetting it each month? But that's actually to reward you with stuff. Like, we'll probably get card backs, maybe orbs. Who knows? Like, there will be rewards based on how much points you have, right? So I think it's gonna be similar. I assume it's gonna be similar to the regular ranked season reset in the way that they give rewards depending on your rank, and it's going to be somewhat with the amount of points you have. The reason to reset it is, I guess, because then otherwise, like, you don't need to play anything the next month. You'll still get rewards maybe,
Yeah.
and it's just easier for people to just start over again, accumulating points. I think it's easier for them to keep track of what point levels should get rewards. Like, otherwise they will have to maybe increase that, and that would be unfair to people who come new and fresh to the game who starts with 0. So you kind of need to reset that each month to be fair to new players as well as not be unfair towards those who've accumulated a lot of points and then stopped playing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they have that, like, like the brackets already set, if it's every 100 Pandora points or something, or if it's going to be kind of a moving
I
bracket
think
as
they're
we go
gonna have
based
it
on-
moving. Like, first of all, we're getting this halfway through a month, so we're gonna have like 2
Yeah.
weeks left or 2.5 maybe to actually accumulate points, and then we're gonna have a whole month next time. And also, it's very hard for them to predict how much points would a player actually get. I mean, they probably have a lot of stats on how well people do, but since the runs
Yep.
are now going to be 9, there's a new rewards tier system, and yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're just going to have to look at it as they go.
I think what most games would do for when you can accumulate points, they'll just go to grab a percentage of players. So like the top 20% of players will get the super card back, then the top like 50% will just get the regular card back. Like if they were to do Pandora card backs.
Oh yeah, that seems fair.
Which I don't think
Yeah.
they've announced or are doing, but if they are, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that seems fair. What is there more to add to this?
I was going to say, before
Mhm.
we fully get off it, what about the 9 wins change from 12? personally, I think it's great. I never got to 12. Like 11 was my most, and that run just seemed like it took so long.
Oh,
just because the games are longer as well, right? Like, well, yeah, because you hit a 12 win.
I have 3 12 wins. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't want to know, Kappa and Lou, how many you have. I have predicted as many more than my 3. Let's just say I'm happy with my 3 12 wins. Especially since one of them was 12 and 0. I've had one of them.
I remember that you posted.
Yeah, I was fucking stoked. Or maybe it was 12 and 1. I actually don't know. It just felt perfect though. I think it might have been 12 and 1, and I lost the first game. It could have been that. So.
Yeah, if you read the feedback channel in Faeria, this is something players have been asking for a long time now, to cut the max wins down, because, as Scorch said, it's so draining when you play a deck and you go to like 12 or 14 games played, and you're like, I'm still playing the same deck. I want the fun of crafting all the decks and stuff, but I don't want to surrender and lose elo because I surrendered my deck. So there was this huge problem of, okay, I have to play out my deck, otherwise I'm going to lose rating. And by cutting the wins down, you feel a lot more satisfied doing drafts and stuff and playing it out. So I think it's really good.
Yeah, I think I don't know. 9 sounds like a good number. Like, I mean, we've tried 12 now for a while. 9 seems good considering how long the games take and how much you play and such. Yeah, 12 is a fucking marathon. That's true.
Phantom runs most of the time seemed a bit too short, so yeah, it's just in between. I think it should be really good.
Oh yeah, exactly. Phantom runs seem so like I said, like yesterday I was like, second loss, I'm like, okay, I forgot it was a Phantom run, and it's like, oh, it's over already. God damn it. And I was sad because I liked the deck that I had. It was mono green actually.
Speaking of 12-win runs, that'd be another cool stat for them to have. How many times you've made it to 9 wins now?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Add that to your notes there, community managers. More stats.
Maybe if you're feeling, I guess, sinister, you could have how many runs someone's done 0-3 with.
No, that's not good. That's not how you make.
I don't suggest that one.
Okay. That's not how you make people feel better. Hey, so Phantom runs, I guess we could quickly... The goal of the Phantom runs is to let our players experience Faeria's Pandora mode each day for free, with the main reward being a piece of a Pandora run. A Phantom run is now as following: 1 free Phantom run per day through a Phantom coin. Phantom coins do not stack and cannot be purchased in either gold or real money. The length of a Phantom run is now 3 wins, 2 losses. I think that's what it is still, right? It's no change, right? It was 3 wins and 2 losses before.
No, it's 6 wins.
Oh, it was 6 wins. Oh, okay. Yeah. Didn't get there. Didn't get 6 wins in my... I've never used it. Like yesterday was first. Okay, so 3 wins, 2 losses. The rewards of a Phantom run are now, no win, nothing. 1 win, 10 gold. 2 win, 20 gold. 3 wins, 1/3 of a Pandora coin. So here's what I'm thinking. Is that like a new graphic asset in this game? You're gonna be you have a piece of a Pandora coin.
Yeah, it looks like there's gonna be pieces that you have that just totally collect and automatically form for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Hopefully we get a really cool animation for the 3 pieces forging together to create the coin.
Animations. I mean, hopefully. Okay, based on the feedback that we received from you, we are also updating the matchmaking algorithm for Pandora to create a MMR-like score per run based on your number of wins and losses. Yeah, people have been asking for this for like a long time. Some people still say, oh, but I prefer to meet better players, but I mean, isn't that what's going to happen though? Technically, is that you're gonna say you win your first 2-3 matches, right? That means that if you're 3-0, you're gonna be facing somebody who's 3-0. So the longer you go, the better your opponent theoretically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is gonna be 2 parts though. It's gonna be, if you're someone that on average is getting 9 wins, then you're 1-0 currently on your run. You'll go up against someone else that's 1-0 on their current run, but also usually averages 9 wins. So you won't just go up against someone that averages like 1 win and won the first game. So it's going to be good matchmaking.
It's going to try and match you up against the better ones as well. All right.
Yeah, very good matchmaking.
The only thing that I have a pet peeve with in in matchmaking in any game is if I ever face the same person twice. So and that doesn't happen so often, which is good. So, and I know that Faeria kind of has this thing where it kind of allows you to face the same person twice, and then it refuses you to do a third. Like it prevents that. But like again, if the matchmaking is based on results, then obviously you won't face the same person twice in a Pandora run because one of you have now lost and won. So.
Well, I think it's a priority. I don't know if you can't face people that have less wins or more wins than you have. I think it will just do a queue priority. So it's nice.
I guess we'll see.
It should start that way, and then once it reaches a certain threshold, it'll start to spider out. So if you're at 1 and 0, you'll try to find somebody at 1 and 0, and if it can't, it'll try like 1 and 1 or 2 and 0, that sort of thing. And then just because otherwise, if you're at 8 and 0 and you're waiting for somebody who is also at 8 and 0, you may never find that person. So it'll try to find somebody who's like 6 and 0, something like that, right?
Yeah. All right. Now, just because I opened another page. All right, so that's the end of Pandora. Woohoo! Done with that. Let's see here. That's the New Dawn fact, and here we go. Well, so New Dawn, that's the big one. I don't like that there's so little dots. We'll just tear it apart. We'll just go from the top. So I'll just read this from the beginning, and I'll probably stop a lot here and just ask for you guys' opinions. So, well, I'll skip. Oh, okay. On October 12th, we will be releasing version 0.9 of Faeria, the final major release point before we exit early access with version 1.0 in a few months' time. We regret to share with you the news that one part of this large update will be the removal of our core set purchase option. At the same time, we will be introducing improvements for the grinding experience, buying items in-game, and introducing some highly demanded features as well. So at the top here, as you may know, the availability of the core set for purchase in our store has been a subject of internal and external discussion for quite some time now. To reach this decision, we've gathered feedback from the community and collected data on the behavior of players, their playing habits, and store purchases. We understand that many players associate this purchase option with Faeria's identity, something that makes the game unique. However, when the health of the game and the community are at stake, we are often forced to make very, very difficult decisions. We know this news will feel like a betrayal to some of you and a relief to others. Rest assured that this decision has been the result of intense consideration by the team and has not been taken lightly by any means. We are fully aware of the weight of it and hope you can understand our reasons. We apologize for failing to keep the core set purchase option available, but we simply must travel down this fork in the road with you. Before diving any further into the reasoning behind the removal of the core set purchase option, as well as the many improvements heading your way for version 0.9, we want to thank you for helping us making Faeria what it is today. Every decision we make is influenced heavily by what you share with us on a daily basis. We are confident that this decision will improve the experience of every Faeria player and that our community is strong enough to move past this and continue to thrive together. Read on for more information. So, before we read on for more information, the removal of the core set, like, just what do you guys think?
I personally really liked it because I wanted to be as competitive as possible right from the start. But I just have to trust the devs, and I think they know what's the best. And also, Cappuccino made some very good points on a Reddit post after the changes.
There's been a lot of discussion about this on every.
So I think he has probably very good input for that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think removing the full collection is going to be huge for the game, because one of the ways that the game functions to keep paying their developers and host all these tournaments and get prize money for tournaments is by making money.
Right.
And for most people going into card games, like, for instance, I went into this other card game and I dropped $300 on cards. Now, $50 wasn't my card cap or my money cap for playing the game, and I dumped $300 and I had a lot of fun, and that was great. And for Faeria, I dropped $50 on my Smurf account. I was like, oh, I got everything now.
Yeah, because your first account was free, right? You'd never...
Well, yeah, my first account was free, but that's another point.
Yeah, you grinded that one out, is what you're saying.
For spending money, most people don't have this $50 cap. it's ranging from, people that can drop $1,000 to people that only have $10. But for the majority of time, people spending money on cards don't have a cap at 50. And so I think it's going to be a lot more money for them in the long run. And then as well as that, for people that are playing as free-to-play players, it is a lot more fun when you're playing a game and you see that you're unlocking a collection that's worth, a bunch of money. If you're unlocking a collection worth like $200 or $300, you feel very proud of all the work you've done. And with a $50 core collection purchase, you feel like you're playing a game that's a buy-in game. Like, this guy just spent $50 and he has everything, and now he has this huge advantage over you. Like, you feel very bad, and you don't want to grind that out because you feel like you're behind.
You're raising some very, very good points. There's a lot of text going on here. I'll read more parts of this because it probably make more people also maybe understand the thoughts and reasoning behind these changes. Because we know all of this because we've read all of this and we've been taking part of the discussions on Reddit, Discord, forums since this announcement. But if you're new to the game, maybe if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on live stream right now, and you might not just there's a lot of text here, so I'm gonna read through a bit more of it. So it says, forging Faeria. As some of you may know, Faeria's history didn't start with Steam Early Access in March. It started several years ago with the goal of making a unique and fair strategy card game based on a buy-to-play model. Since our original Kickstarter campaign, the digital card game landscape has changed drastically. And for those, I'm not sure if it doesn't mention it here, but it was actually, Kickstarter was in 2013. This is before Hearthstone, so people know that, for example. Since our original Kickstarter campaign, the digital card game landscape has changed drastically, and 1 year ago we decided that making Faeria a free-to-play game would give us the opportunity to grow and keep a healthy community over many years, a goal that is still important to us. To accompany this change of business model, we decided to offer the core set purchase option as a middle ground between free-to-play and buy-to-play models. While the goal of creating a hybrid between free-to-play and traditional buy-to-play models excited us greatly, we have sadly come to the conclusion that it simply cannot work in the long run, or at least it doesn't work for Faeria. For every player we have who loves the idea of the ability to purchase the core set, we have many more players who will never take advantage of this option and who are negatively affected by its existence simply due to the impact it has on our user journey for both free-to-play and buy-to-play players. We have now analyzed over a month of data since becoming fully free-to-play, as well as scrutinized the responses from the community survey we ran a couple of weeks ago, and we see no other option than removing the core set entirely. Our goal with Faeria is to create a game that not only has exciting and unique strategic gameplay, but also offers a user journey through the game that delivers the highest enjoyment possible to the most people possible. The major problem caused by the core set is that it deflates the value of grinding and progression in the game to great. Got the text here. The major problem caused by the core set is that it deflates the value of grinding and progression in the game to too great an extent by creating an uneven benchmark against which to compare to. Both our game data and survey responses confirm this conclusion that its impact on players who don't buy the core set is too strong and affects too large of a portion of our playing community. Okay, the last part here, I think. We considered many alternate ways of working around this problem by changing the price of the core set, splitting it up into chunks, or even the idea of returning Faeria away from the free-to-play model entirely. But each of these options would do too little and with likely even worse side effects. Eventually, as much as we tried to avoid taking this decision, which we knew some of you would care a great deal about, we have come to accept that this is something we have to do for the greater good of Faeria. This is the hardest decision we have ever had to do at Abrakam, and it is certainly not one we are making flippantly, but we are confident that it is the best decision we could make in order to see a future for Abrakam and Faeria. Removing the core set is only one part of our overall goal to improve the experience we give to players who haven't bought the core set. The vast majority of our player base, actually. We hope that a lot of what we have already done for the free-to-play journey illustrates how committed we are to keeping the overall user experience fair. Free phantom runs every day, heavy amounts of single-player content with high rewards, generous gold rewards, and daily quests should make obtaining a decent collection in Faeria a very reasonable journey for everyone. At least that's our goal. And then they have the road ahead here with how actually booster packs is being changed, how they're improving the grinding, and things like that. We're probably going to go through that too. But, this gives more meat for those of you wondering what Cappuccino was referring to. Because when you're free to play in Faeria, you come to Faeria, you're free to play, and you're like, well, it's Scorchair is also one of them who's just been like, grinding out the collection. I think you bought a few booster packs, but grinding
I had
out
the early access bundle and then bought some packs off the start. I like opening packs more than just here's the full collection. So
yeah, and the thing is that, like Cappuccino made a good point, is that when you grind out the collection, you're always thinking like, okay, so what's the alternative to grinding out the collection? Well, it's spending $50. That's how it is up until Wednesday now. It's been $50 to get the full collection. So that's the value. Like, nobody can tell me nobody can tell me anything else, at least. That's my opinion, that the value of the collection is $50. Like, and that's going to be like, okay, so my 100 hours maybe I spent on the game to grind out a full collection. This is just an example. I don't know if it takes 100 hours. I think it takes way less, actually. But let's say you spend 100 hours to grind out a collection. You're like, oh, those 100 hours are just worth $50. Like, that's how it feels, right? But because you always have that option that you can buy the full collection for a set price. The other way people value collections in games, that other card games that doesn't have you can't go and just buy the full collection. You have to buy, they figure out, okay, so how many booster packs do you have to buy to have a, reasonable chance to actually acquire the full collection through only boosters, and then they look at how much each booster pack costs, and that's how they, put a value on a full collection in other games. So in other games it can be like $600 to, for a full collection and stuff like that, and that obviously sounds a lot higher, a lot better. So if you then acquire the collection by just grinding it out, and you're like, man, this would have cost people $600 to get, but I didn't spend anything, or I spent maybe, $10 that one weekend to buy a few booster packs, then you feel great. Like, it's actually a much higher value on the free-to-play player, actually. So the valuation of the full collection and booster packs is very important in the way that free-to-play players look at what is it worth. Yep. Right?
I would say from a free-to-play player's point of view, the old version with the full collection buy was much more punishing for their commitment, and the new one is more rewarding. Like, now the time gets more rewarded for the investment because it's worth more to own the full collection.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mostly just touch on like the business aspect, but like, just playing the game for everyone now, it's going to feel a lot more rewarding with unlocking these cards. And the game is very generous with unlocking cards. It's not like this $50 thing is going to turn into like $500 to get the full collection. It's not that severe. Like, you can play the game, put like maybe $50 on packs if that's what you want to do, and still grind out the full collection in a reasonable amount of time. But now you'll feel like really proud about it. So I think this sense of like collecting all these cards and finally unlocking the collection is going to be a huge asset to like how people feel about the game.
I mean, the thing still is that so this is worth mentioning, is that so when you start out with Faeria now, I guess we'll read on to the news piece later, but when you start out Faeria now, you have this prologue that gives you a bit of cards, and then you have the solo content, as it's called, and you can grind through the solo content in a day or two. Like, it's not and I think it is massive solo content already for a game like this. I'm actually surprised how much they already put in, and this is not even everything they're going to put in. We're actually getting more puzzles on Wednesday even. I think I heard 15 puzzles, something like that. I don't know. We're getting a bunch of more puzzles, and the rewards for the solo content so far is insanely good. Like, you get booster packs and gold left and right. I think okay, this is from the top of my head. I did the math just as it came out, and I looked at it, and I think I figured out that with like the booster packs and gold, I think alone from the solo content, it's like 40-60 booster packs, which is a huge. And now we're not even talking.
I ended up at 40.
Yeah, 40 I think it is. And I think then you get gold on that, and we're not even talking about the rewards for leveling up. Like, you also level up your account.
Yeah, it's a pack for every level up, right?
Right?
And gold checkpoints as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking a lot. So if you then want to spend $50 on top of that for booster packs, you'll have freaking close to full collection in my mind. Like you cannot be far away from a very solid collection of cards. And with crafting on top of that, like, you have crafting then, so you can go in like, oh, I missed these cards, like, you can go craft certain cards you want.
Yeah. My big thing with the core set change, even just away from, the money spent sort of thing, it was great you could come in and buy the set, instantly be competitive, but that's such a small amount of the player base for that option versus the casual player who comes in and, the matchmaking was set up so that you shouldn't face somebody who has full collection with your non-full collection. But if you did face somebody with that and then you get wrecked just because they have cards that you don't, that new casual player is just going to drop the game completely, which is a bigger downside than the upside of the instant competitiveness.
Yeah, I mean, it also hurt the queue times too, because what would end up happening is you just both end up waiting like 8 minutes, and then you would match into each other anyway because you don't want to wait too long. So it's going to improve the queue times a lot, guys. Like, that's going to be awesome as well.
Yeah, and something also I think is worth thinking about here is that, people's commitment to a game. I think Lou mentioned it a little bit in what he said earlier, was that, something you hear a lot from people coming from other games where they spent maybe 1,000 hours, right? They spent so much time, maybe even money, but they spent so much, like, of their life in other games, and they're like, yeah, I can't really stop playing that because I've spent so much time with it. Like, I can't stop playing that because I put so much into it, right? And that's like, oh, I bought the full collection for $50. I played for a bit. I don't feel so committed to this game. Like, it's so much easier. Like, you get so much more. I think, people just feel more committed to the game when they put blood, sweat, and tears into it to get the collection as well. Even though it's still simpler or faster than other games, I'm actually kind of worried that, heck, maybe these developers are being too generous with the free-to-play model. But it's they gotta make money. I'm just like, well, because I think Faeria is insanely generous, actually. So. We'll see. We'll go on here just to get to the. So there's some changes here. We're talking booster packs, but they are actually changing, and I'm very excited. I have 100+ booster packs. I don't know what is many, but I started with full collection too. So I've just been, people been on my stream like, open booster packs, it's so much fun. But I'm like, I don't wanna like. So I opened like one. I'm like, we opened a booster pack. I'm not gonna just open them for nothing, and it seems to be paying out. Alright, so the road ahead. Removing the core set as a purchasable option allows us to take a fresh look at the user experience for both free-to-play and paying players. We have a considerable number of changes which will come at the same time of the release. We are labeling 0.9, which is expected to arrive on October 12th. On October 12th, the core set will no longer be available to purchase in the shop. So I guess if you are seeing this now, maybe by tomorrow when I have this on YouTube, you can still run into the game, buy the full collection if you really want to. Now let's take a look at some of the other changes coming in version 0.9. By the way, guys, I just want to add, and we're probably actually going to take a 5-minute break just here because we've been going for like 1.5 hours. But I just want to add that, when people look, there's been so much discussion on Reddit and Discord about how good or bad, or, heck, I've even seen somebody being like, oh, they're just looking for more money. Like, yes, they are looking for more money because apparently they're not making enough with these options to keep this game going. But at the same time, it's, they've had so many discussions. If you're part of the Faeria community especially on Discord. I know, or I actually don't know. I assume that the Discord community is maybe half of the Faeria community. Like, maybe. It's definitely not a majority, because usually Discord channels just don't hold a majority of the players. A lot of people are silent players. They play the game of Steam at their home. They don't take part on forums, Reddit, or Discord. So there's obviously a huge player base out there that we don't know about what they think or what they say. They don't speak up. But they've done a survey, and we'll have to assume that a lot of people at least get the news email, the announcements on Steam, the announcement on the website, notifications in the game. Like we assume that people at least read some of the news that they've been putting out about the changes, because they try to inform everyone. And they've done survey where I can't remember exactly the questions, but it was definitely like you know, how rewarding is Pandora? How good is the matchmaking? How good is... Oh, and what do you think about the full core set option? Did you buy it or did you not buy it? And yada yada, etc, etc. And even freeform here. Tell us whatever you want in this, you know, write a text here. And we don't have the numbers, but let's assume that they had, you know, hopefully a few thousand people participate, right? That's a huge sample, and that's also been a big part of their decisions, right? And I assume that from the survey, they saw how, and they already know how many people been clicking, you know, buy the full collection, right? But they obviously got, you know, not only how many people did buy the full collection, but how many people thought this was a good or bad idea, or how it's influencing their view on the game and stuff. And I think that's important. I think it's important to know that, you know, at least from my experience, Abrakam, the developers, all the way back since Kickstarter, I've never seen a developer that just seems to just listen so much to the community. But obviously you can't listen to every single voice. You can't make every single person happy. We gotta remember that. We all have different opinions. Some prefer... Heck, some people still kind of miss the old version of Faeria and the original idea of being a buy-to-play game where that was the only way to get in the game. You know, I think free-to-play model seems to be a very smart decision, actually.
Yeah, I think they have the players at heart. Like, I think they're mostly doing this to actually just make the game experience better for the majority of players. I'm not sure if it's completely they just want to make more money. I really think they have the players.
No,
in mind.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, just to make sure that I'm not. The people mistake my statement there. I don't think they're doing this purely to make more money, but you know, they're trying to look at how are we gonna keep developing this game and keep this game alive for the long run, right? You know, it's not free to run the servers and pay the developers. And this is an indie game. People gotta realize this. This is not a AAA studio. This is not a studio with 50 people working on it, like some of the even tiny MOBA games have. You know, this is a very, very small studio.
Yeah, someone in chat asked, I don't understand how there are so few players. Like, that's the thing. It's very hard to get noticed as a game because nowadays there's so many games out there, and it's everything about publicity and like advertising the game, and like that's also where the community is a part of, that we make the game. We create content like these talk shows or stream and stuff, and I think that really also helps the game. And
I usually my measure stock, not, I mean, this is not a universal measure stock or measure stick, I guess it's called. But I usually go to Twitch and I look at, does the game have people streaming it? And I'm not saying 24/7 or anything, because I think there's time when very few people are streaming Faeria. But heck, in what I would consider prime time of Faeria, like let's say 18 hours out of the 24 of the day, we have at least 3 people streaming it, and we have at least like 100, 200 viewers. I mean, to me, that's a healthy indie game.
Yeah, and I would say that's actually pretty amazing. Like, if you look at other games, they would be happy if they had our numbers, and I think there's room to improve, but I also think it's not that bad. Like, just need to keep going and keep growing.
Yeah, I think it's great, and you know, we see, I mean, we have everybody on here are streamers. Me and Scorch stream here on Metagamingtv. Don't forget to hit that follow button, boys. Cappuccino streams on its Cappuccino. Lou streams on Lou90. And I mean, Cappuccino and Lou, you guys both. I mean, you're one of the higher viewed streamers actually. You get a bunch of viewers, and I mean, probably has to do with your nice personalities. Nothing with your skill. But obviously it has so much to do with you guys are being amazing players, and you're sharing your skill and knowledge with the viewers, and so many people learn so much from you guys. So I think that's awesome that you're not hiding on the ladder off stream.
I think that's very characteristic for this community. It's a very competitive community, and people want to improve. So they want to watch people who are high ranked on ladder, see what they do. Maybe they can learn stuff. Maybe they can copy some stuff. So that's just natural, I would say.
Yeah, but I think it's great, and people are not scared of hosting each other. People are throwing hosts left and right. If somebody stops, they're like, "Oh, somebody else is streaming." So we're trying to maintain the viewer base, the community on Twitch. But also you'll see, like, if somebody stops, you'll see, like, it's they'll come to another channel.
Also, one thing I wanted to mention, check out new channels. There's lots of people starting to stream. Also, if you want to start to stream yourself, Faeria is a very good opportunity because there's a high demand and a low supply for streams.
That is true.
So, for example, Norfield is one of the newest streamers, and he already got lots of viewers. Then Helios started to stream recently, and I really think he will stream also more regularly. So, yeah, just also check out new channels. I also often go to smaller channels and just say hello.
I check them out all the time, as long as they speak English. I'm sorry, I don't find it interesting sitting there listening to Italian and be like, pasta, pizza, I don't freaking hell, like, it's not my thing, man.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay. No, I haven't seen an Italian Faeria streamer yet. That was just out of the blue. If anybody felt like I was not, like, referring to anyone. No, if I was referring to someone, I would go, like, I've seen German, French every day. Well, the French community is big. Like, there's also when people ask, like, how big is the community, the player base, it's I think we have a split community here. We have when I say huge, I mean relatively in the sense of the player base of Faeria. We have a huge French community, we have a huge Russian community.
Yeah, and like the Russian part, the Korean part.
And yeah, I was going to say Korean part. I think that's the three other languages I think that I would call major here is French, Russian, and Korean, actually, which is awesome. I love Gravekeeper. He's an amazing person, and ambassador for Faeria.
And we have to be very thankful for that they guys really promote the game also for these languages, and that's really cool. We're all doing this not professionally, just casually, and like it's really cool that people do that in the free time, and really nice.
So I think you made some great points there, Lou. This is obviously super off topic, but that's what we're not strict here on Kappa Council. It's great fun. So
it's all over the place.
We need there is demand for streamers, and heck, I'll even throw this out. If you're watching this, if you're interested in getting into streaming and you're like, but I don't know how to set up XSplit or OBS, send a private message to Screen112 on Discord. I'll find a freaking time to, like, through Skype or TeamViewer, just figure out what your setting is, because I'm one of those who, like, I would like to see a decent picture quality at least, things like that. And there's a lot of, if you just have a semi-modern gaming PC, you can stream Faeria with a good picture quality, no problems. Like, this is not a demanding game. So yeah, if you need help with setting up a stream and you're really curious to getting into it, then I'll definitely be happy to help you set it up. But because more streamers, the more streamers, the better, I think. And and heck, small games is the best place to start streaming. Like, this is like a great gaming community. If you want to get into streaming, this is where you'll be noticed. People will come to see you, and also if you somehow watch this now or later on YouTube, you should get on Discord, because when you go live and stream on the Faeria Discord, you can actually post your link to say, hey, I'm going live, come check me out. I'm and maybe add, like, I'm new, be kind, make a yak joke, and see, I can't even say it, and they'll probably love you even more. Get a yak costume, and it'll be the #1 streamer of Faeria. Oh, I need that for Halloween.
There you go.
A yak costume. That would be great.
Write it down.
Well, we're going to a Halloween party. Yeah, we're flying to the north part of Sweden where it's super cold to go to a Halloween party. So we're currently trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna dress up as. Girlfriend says vampires. I'm like, sure. I have no idea. A yak would be great. Anyway, to go on here. Yes. Okay. Fuck it. 5-minute break. We need to have that official break that we always say we're gonna take.
Right.
Let's get some new cold beverages. Mine is now warm.
Just before the break, I noticed I'm the only one without a number next to my name. You guys gotta help me. I need a number, right?
Which number do you need?
Just change.
Cappuccino.
Oh shit! I can't even do that. It's like Photoshop. This is hard
gets
printed.
number 1. You won the monthly cup. He gets number
Just change
1.
the O to a 0. Done.
I saw that a few people suggested number 1. I
It's a
appreciated that.
conspiracy. Cappuccino don't need a number. He's the one. He's a champ. Champs don't need numbers. There we go. All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right.
Alrighty. We are officially back, and I officially fucked up. There we go. Alright, whatever. It's not like we're chatting about secret stuff. It's more like, what is Cappuccino eating? And what did I get in my glass? It's not yellow now, it's Pepsi. With a huge ice cube, because it was not cold. I even brought a bottle with me here. Alright, so before we continue, there's let's see. I'm actually gonna make sure it works first. But there's a little bit of an announcement. I got a message from Atmos. Oh god dang it. Steam username. Oh, you have to sign in through Steam. All right, let's see here. I'm just gonna see if I actually can do this first. I want to be first. Alright, well, it's not a big announcement. It's more the fact that they've now they've updated the esports.faeria.com website now, so that you can go there and you can see the timer for the next qualifier. You can see that Cappuccino, such a lovely picture, man, and I mean it. I mean, it's a good picture.
It's exactly what you look like right now.
Imperial looks like he's...
before this.
Oh my god. Imperial looks like he's, I don't know, out in the wild, basically. Yeah.
He's on the desert field.
I mean, that's a picture. What a beard. Damn. Man, alright. But this also means that you can now go and vote for the community's favorite, person, but they've done it so you have to search for players. You cannot just browse the list like before for performance issues or reasons, I guess. So all you need to do is go to this link and search for Scream 112 and vote. And well, maybe I'll actually show up there now on the thing now that I did. Yeah. You can just
marketing.
You can just vote there
vote.
on Scream 112. I would highly appreciate all the votes.
Don't do it.
You know, if I could ever get
then we
voted
have
in
no
the
one
monthly.
to run production.
That puts me in a great negotiation spot, doesn't it?
Oh. I'm sorry, you do too good a job. I can't vote for you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would replace me? Wow, I don't know, man. That would be interesting. Run production and play in the tournament. So we're gonna be watching me.
I feel like there's a bit of a competitive. What's it called?
I would not make it past round one. Would I? Maybe I would just. Okay, so I would hope that I would be matched up against one of the two people with a bounty. So let's say Cappuccino next, right? And I would just go all in to just take that bounty, and then I would be done, like forfeit. That would be my goal.
Wow, you had to pick me, not Imperia.
Well, I could take. I mean, like I said, whoever. Like you just were the closest one to come to mind.
Just kidding.
But yeah, so I mean, this is quite interesting, though. I think I see a lot of streamers and people kind of almost running campaigns on getting voted on to get voted in because they realize or they think that this is where they could get in easier than maybe through the qualifiers and stuff like that. But Aquablad was able to get in through this system for the last monthly. Which was the reason he wasn't part of the stream and commentating on the first few matches. All right, well that's that. I'm gonna refresh here. Hopefully there's a lot of votes on. There's no more vote on me. Come on, guys! When you're watching this on YouTube, I demand votes. Vote. I'll make Faeria great again.
There you go.
I'll take that as my campaign.
Not even a color, just the game in general.
Just Faeria.
I'll make... Well, yeah, okay, that makes it sound like Faeria isn't great. Well, Faeria is... I'll make it greater. Again. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Your campaign's already off to a rocky start.
Yep. Even before they find a a video of me doing locker talk. I don't even know what that is, but all right.
You should say you made Yak Attack great again.
There you go.
I'll make neutral great again. I'll make all the
God, neutral
non-colored
rush.
cards. There we
Neutral's
go.
actually really powerful.
Hey, Daring Adventure is still neglected. I think it's a good card.
Yeah.
I've been using it.
You obviously didn't see the highlight from the Korean cast of the monthly cup then.
No, I haven't.
One of the games, I just saw the highlight was posted up on, I think it was just Faeria's Twitter, and it was from the Korean cast. I forget who it was that they were casting the game of, but it was an 8/8 Daring Adventure.
What?
Was it
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Matcha?
Oh.
It was a 3-wish deck up against Yellow Rush or something, and the 3-wish deck stole the Daring Adventures and then played it. It was really
in
funny to
between
see.
3 creatures. It's just
Yeah.
the most massive Daring Adventure.
I actually think that Daring Adventure is a little bit neglected. Like, I mean, it's a 4-cost 2/2 that gets +2/+2 for each adjacent enemy creature. So basically, it's at equal value as long as there's one creature next to it, right? So if you drop it next to 2, it's already starting to pay for itself a bit. You know, I mean, the problem is obviously that, you know, you're dropping it, summoning sickness, it doesn't damage the opponent's creatures on the time you drop it. Like, it doesn't have like an instant effect like that. You know, so maybe your opponent then finds a way to walk around and deal with it. Like, you know, it's... But I really think it's a good creature because it's, you know, colorless and you can drop it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't want to drag us too far off topic,
Yep.
but one of a really powerful decks is definitely neutral, and you just rush up the side and you have 3 Axe Grinders and Garridan, and that's your only color cards. Just 3 Axe Grinder and Garridan.
Okay.
You push up one side and you have like one of the best starts ever.
Oh my god.
Very
There we
powerful deck.
There we go. There we go. Maybe we'll see that soon, next monthly. Something
Yeah.
like that. If did somebody send a message? Is it you guys who sent a message on Skype? I cannot look at it.
No.
Okay, all right.
I don't-
Probably just
then-
somebody sent
yeah,
it
it's probably old. Skype is buggy like that. It's just flashing in the bottom right, like I have a message. Or
Oh.
maybe it could be somebody else, but if somebody else sent me a message, they'll have to wait. All right, so back to it then. We're just gonna plow through this quickly, and we'll end with some talk about what we think the balance changes will be. All right, road ahead. Removing the core set as a purchasable option allows us to take a fresh. Okay, so hopefully you've been here before the break. We were talking about the changes that comes on Wednesday, about the core set removal and changes to that, and we shared a lot of that. So yeah, if you're showing up now, this is gonna be on YouTube. You can check the first part of this episode on YouTube tomorrow. Alright, removing the core set as a purchasable option allows us to take a fresh look at the user experience for both free-to-play and paying players. I think I read this. Alright, so basically what's happening here is that booster packs become battle chests. Despite the name change, battle chests work just like the old booster packs, in that you will earn them when you play the game, and you can buy extras in the shop should you wish to. However, we've also made a few improvements to them. They will still contain 5 cards, but you will now be given the option to re-roll the card of the highest rarity into another random card of the same rarity, giving you a second chance if your rarest card in a chest is one you don't need. In addition to this, sometimes you might find that some of your 5 cards are actually mythic cards. Prior to this, guys, you could only get mythic cards from rewards in Pandora, actually. So this is great. I have 100 plus packs to open come Wednesday.
All the mythics.
And I will stream it, I'll record it, and we'll get science from that. We'll get stats. So we'll see out of like 100... I think I have 106 booster packs right now. I'm still going to keep my goal for expansions, but, you know, whenever I do that, we'll keep tabs on what's the chances of getting mythics are. I'm going to assume it's going to be not like... I don't know. What do you guys think? How easy will it be to get mythic cards? It's probably going to be super hard, right?
I assume it'll be rare.
Yeah.
Because mythic cards disenchant for a lot of dust. Like,
Yep.
This is going to be huge for people getting the full collection. If they want to disenchant their mythic cards, they can get a full collection much faster with getting mythic cards from booster packs now. So I assume it's going to be very rare.
Yeah.
The reroll also should help with that.
The reroll
too.
is great, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Although it's
something.
it's not guaranteed that you get
How
something
many?
you need. Like, it still could be a duplicate.
How many will re-roll Krog?
Never.
The real question is, how many will reroll Krog into Doomgate?
Ooh, wow.
It's like, you hit reroll on Krog, that's it, we're giving you Doomgate.
Yeah.
But then you can still disenchant it.
True.
So-
And then you don't feel bad about disenchanting Krog, it's win-win.
Oof. Oh god. Never disenchant Krog. Yeah, that's a rolling meme. If you don't know that, you're new to the game. He's the best legendary, basically. Like, keep him. Improved. Okay, we'll just go on here. Improved grinding. We have always been proud to say that Faeria offers fair grinding, and with 0.9 we take this even further with the above battle chest, but also by offering even better in-game rewards. Your user level will no longer be capped at 30. Oh yeah, I love this. Your user level will no longer be capped at 30, and once you hit level 100... So, okay, they're going to 100 here. This is like the third time I'm reading this, but I've kind of missed out here. Once you hit level 100, you will be promoted to the next league. And I'm very curious about what these leagues are and how they're gonna look like, but I can't wait for Wednesday. Each time you progress to a new level, you will be shown 3 cards. So this is each level up. Like you start at level 1, like level 2, you get shown 3 cards.
I
right?
think it's each league advance you do. So every time you make it to level
But
100
it says
again,
level.
Yeah, I think it.
No,
meant
I'm
to
sure
say
this is
league.
level. It has to be level. Atmas, tell us in Twitch chat, quick. I'm gonna assume it's levels. Like they cannot get this text wrong. Like they must have read this text 3 times before posting it.
I was gonna say, under the current system, you get a booster pack every level, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think this is instead of booster packs.
So instead of that, you get
Yep.
just 1 card.
Each time you progress to a new level, you will be shown 3 cards which your collection doesn't currently contain 3 of, and be able to choose 1 to keep. Oh, and by the way, the XP required to complete a league is the same for each one. Each time you league up, early levels will be as fast as when you started Faeria.
Yeah. This is an idea I've been
I'm trying to work
promoting
and listen. No, the question, Atmos,
sorry.
was... The question was that your user level will no longer be capped at 30, and once you hit level 100, you will be promoted to the next league. Each time you progress to a new level, so I assume that level 1, 2, 3, like each level up, you'll be shown 3 cards that your collection doesn't currently have, and you'll pick one of those. Not each league, right? Because that would be super slow. I mean, getting to 30 took a while. I like how we're waiting for... and I like how Kappa just wrote it as I finished it.
Yes.
That's great. Yes, exactly.
Each level equals new card.
Yeah, level.
Oh,
new cards.
okay.
Okay.
I
yeah.
apologize.
No, that's alright, because I think it would have been horrible if it was each
grand,
league,
yeah.
like level 100, like, but yeah, how long is it gonna take? Like, okay, who gets worlds first level 100? Like, that would be a feat.
I think it's about 120 hours to hit level 30. If I ever remember that, it's
It took
a long
forever
time
for me, it
since I
felt like, because
started.
I never really tried to get, like, I didn't care so much since, I went full collection, I played the game for fun, I think it's great. Like, my level didn't matter to me. I was happy to get there for the avatar reward. Remember that?
Yeah, I think Helios got level 30 after the monthly cup, so like it definitely takes a while because it took him a while to get level 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely
After
takes
this recent monthly cup?
No.
No, after the first one.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, what?
Which account was
Okay.
he playing on? Right? But yeah, so I mean, I'm just curious on the visual representation of the leagues here, because I feel like I'm starting to mix up the leagues with the leagues of the ranked and stuff like that. I hope they have a very distinct difference here, because it's gonna be annoying when people go on Discord like, hey, I hit the next league, and we're like, oh, so you're in gold, or diamond, or god rank, like, you know. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I just like the fact that they're doing this so that people who do put in a lot of hours and who do get to level 30 as it is now, just at least have something like that keeps happening. They can continue grinding, continue progressing. Like the progression never ends, you could say. Right?
Yeah. Just gamers in general like grinding, and I think this is just a great change to don't have a cap on that, and you see your progression going on, and you just as you play, you also get the reward of seeing that number go higher and higher, and that's just somewhat pleasuring. I would say
you're never 100% done. Like you never I've gotten everything. Also, when you hit the next league and you start at level 1, you know you're gonna shoot through those like first 5-10 levels like phew.
Oh yeah.
Because they're gonna be the same rewards. So yeah. But by the time you're level 100, you should have the full collection though. I don't think there's the extra cards there. But that's also for the future if this system stays. For expansions, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, as long as it still works.
I try to be level 1 then for the next expansion.
Exactly, you're gonna have to time that. Exactly. Heavy is betting money on Kappa being the first one to hit level 100. Oh, really? All right. Yeah, well, on both accounts, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, I play 2 accounts. I'm kind of disadvantaged for getting first 100.
You can be like, oh, I got 50 on both.
Yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll get level 50 on both and be like, look, I did it.
Oh, that's gonna be great. All right. I'll read the last part here. Single player mode remains in the same format. However, rewards are being reworked to be more evenly spread and more generous, which to me is crazy, by the way. Across the entire mode, meanwhile, daily quests are being shortened to make them more achievable for more players. Which, again, they're just giving more stuff away. I mean, it is great. I hope they're not giving too much away. Pandora will also see some big changes to its rewards system. You can read more about that in our separate post. Yeah, we just did the Pandora thing. We started with that. New shop. And for those of you who do want to spend a little money in the game, we will be introducing a whole new experience with which we hope will make purchases both fairer and more fulfilling. Firstly, we'll be introducing a whole bunch of gorgeous new cosmetic items into the game. You will be able to buy cosmetics directly for either gold or real currency, and we will also introduce for the first time cosmetic bundles. Oh, I am so excited about this. Yep. One price for a themed set of cosmetics. Check out the Shara bundle on our Instagram right now. Yeah, if you find the official, I think it's Enter Faeria, I think is the name of the Instagram account for people to go there. Actually, let's do it. Enter Faeria. Here we go. Bam. So that I could probably, I'll link it to people in Twitch. I'll try and remember to link it on YouTube. But they show a lot of art here, and the Shara bundle is the one that you don't really see. You see like a little orb in the miniature picture. It's the second row, 6th one, and you click that, and you see orb with Shara. You see a Faeria well, and you see the card back is fucking gorgeous. I'm so excited. We talked about this, Scorch. We talked about this when they released the when we were playing the solo content. Guys, like Cappuccino Lou.
Yeah, I was here for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were here for that. Like the wells, the cosmetic wells in some of those missions. We're like, that we want to have that, right?
I just want it. I just want that.
So now you're gonna be able to buy cosmetic wells. So the wells on the maps will be whatever you want them to be.
My hope for it is that each thing will be individual, so that you can get endless combinations. Just because they have it listed as you can buy the bundle, so it's kind of hoping that it's not, well, if you use this orb,
I would assume you can use
that
the orb
automatically
separately.
Changes the wells to the matching one.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that'll be the way it goes, but
they have it in different tabs in the profile, I believe, so you can select customly what ones you want to be what. I don't think it's going to be a package.
But there's not currently one set up for wells, right? There's avatar, there's orb, card back, and the emotes one, which is still blanked out. But there's nothing set up for the wells currently, so I don't know if it'll be something where your orb base determines what your well detail is.
Okay. I don't think it will be, but yeah, I see your concern there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're gonna be able to select, like, I want this orb, I want that well. but this is like a themed bundle, like because they can probably ask for a more decent price on the bundle and get like more people to opt in for that, I think. Where were we? Alright, so to continue that, we mentioned battle chests above, and there will be other types of chests available in the shop, each with a different range of possible contents. Don't worry, no keys required! One of these will be mythic chests containing random cosmetics. Oh, I'm gonna love those. Maybe I actually do need to spend my gold. Shit. We will now be offering starter packs. A player will only be able to purchase each starter pack once, and the passive value provided in them will help new players to the game get a fast boost in the game. So this really adds into the previous discussion on this episode where we talked about how hard or actually easy it is to quickly get a competitive, almost full collection in Faeria, and how they're making it even easier. So instead of paying $50 for the full collection, like maybe we don't know the price of this, but maybe you'll spend, I don't know, $25 and you get a starter pack, and you'll kickstart your collection pretty quickly there. But starter packs a player will only be able to purchase each starter pack once, and the massive value provided in them will help new players to the game get a fast boost in the game.
Now, there's a very key thing here in the way they've worded it, is a player will only be able to purchase each starter pack once.
Exactly, right?
So that to me means there's going to be like a bunch of different things.
I think they're going to be color.
One that's packs, one that it's like Pandora coins or that sort of thing. Like
I think starter packs will be...
I thought it would be like per expansion maybe, and that's what they meant by
maybe.
Like
no,
actually
no. This is how it's going to be.
Color.
Actually, I remember. I think it's in the closing words. I'll just read it, and I think it's actually here. Here's how it's going to be. I already know this. Their answer is here.
Okay.
Closing words. We know that there is a lot to process already, which is why we haven't yet revealed absolutely everything that version 0.9 will bring, so there's more stuff to come. It will also include a lot of highly demanded features, such as the ability to spectate your friends.
Oh, wow.
Right? Coaching will get much easier.
Needed.
Yes.
Now it's easier to snipe.
Oh shit! I need to start removing everyone. Oh. Or the yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's alright.
Oh, I was about to say, I imagine they'll have a feature where you can toggle can't be spectated, right? You won't have to constantly remove people off your friends.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. We'll see. Otherwise, feedback will be flooded like, how do I prevent people from sniping me? And they just killed Twitch, right? Like nobody's streaming anymore. It will also include a lot of highly demanded features, that was that, or the addition of 15 brand new puzzles arriving in single player mode. I fucking love the puzzles. Speaking of which, I haven't promised, but I've said to joke that I'll look into try to help him edit the next Spot Lethal episode. So hopefully we'll have that done soon. Because that's a great thing, by the way. That's a whole different thing. We'll talk about that on the next episode when it's up. We have even more than this coming that we will announce once the update hits live servers on October 12th. So more things to come. Alright, so we also understand that the removal of the core set may have an impact on Faeria's esports scene, and this is a very important thing for us to say on top of. You can expect more news on this subject within the next few days, and the news has been posted, I think it's the FAQ. They posted, they gathered all the feedback, all the questions on Reddit, forums, Discord, and they tried in an FAQ to try and answer as much of the questions that came from this in one go. So you guys, if you're watching this, you can go read that on the Faeria.com website. Here comes the last part. We would also like to offer on our entire player base a small token of our gratitude for being with us now during our development and helping us make decisions on a daily basis. The decisions that are easy, the decisions we have to wrestle over, the ones we make that we know can't be universally popular, and also those that are just bringing new great things into the game. So our thank you is this. On the day that we roll out version 0.9, every single user account will automatically receive a free gold fountain, which is an amazing item in itself. It gives you so much gold, so you can buy booster packs. And one of 2 starter packs. Players who own the core set will receive a cosmetic starter pack. And all other players will receive a gameplay starter pack. just our way of saying thanks again, the Faeria team. So at least there's 2 starter packs. There's the cosmetic one that just, I guess, gives you a bunch of cosmetics. And then you have the gameplay starter pack, which I guess gives you a bunch of cards. I mean, that's all we know, right? Like, we have no idea, but that's from the naming and wording here. We can assume there's going to be at least 2. Yeah.
Yo, it'd be interesting to see if there's any more than that, and then what's actually contained in them. Because obviously the cosmetic one, you can guess what it's going to be just because it's called cosmetic. But the gameplay starter pack, it could be X number of packs.
It feels like there's going to be one. There's going to be one gameplay starter pack. I think that's what I'm theorizing, that it's going to be one, since they're saying that people will get the one or one of them, or they will get one gameplay starter pack, and so yeah, I'm just going to assume that there's one. Yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Or what do you think about this though? Like, this is good
well,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
it's just guessing right now to know like what exactly it's going to contain.
Of course.
And I assume the cosmetic one's going to be like a mythic card pack, but maybe it'll have orbs and stuff. I assume it's cards though, because it's a card pack, right? So I think it's going to be mythic cards for the cosmetic one.
Yeah, that could be cool.
The other one's probably just like maybe one of each variety of card, like a legendary, an epic, a rare, a common. I don't know.
But yeah, how excited are we for cosmetics though?
Very.
Am I the only one? I'm waiting for these competitive players here, Scorch. Like they're just, where I'm just in this for the competition and the money.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Sweetie brought out a full mythic deck in the
I know,
monthly,
and
they've done a fantastic job at making these look better and better. Like it looks so amazing now.
It was kind of funny to see the Twitch chat. They're like, oh, I love this. I love this mythic blue deck.
Yeah,
it's like a thing now.
We just need mythic tokens, though.
That's a good point. Like we should just bring that up if we have the attention of the community managers. I'm saying that so Atmas working while listening, he goes like, oh shit, he said my name. So that the one thing, that should be like just a random, like a trigger, right? Like if you have every single card in the deck you bring is mythic, the explore card should be mythic, and or heck, okay, don't get greedy, but you could sell that as a cosmetic, I guess. Like just buy a mythic explore card. But no, the explore card should be mythic, and if you play a mythic Battletoads or Mirror Phantasm, because that's the ones I remember from the blue, like anything that does a thing like that should also create mythic tokens, right? Like they should all be mythic.
Yeah, I believe they've said before in like forum posts and stuff that they're planning on making the tokens be mythic cards as well. So I believe that's on the work. It's
obviously it's obviously all about getting the code monkeys to be like, do this now. Here's a banana.
I was gonna say that's got to go along with mythic cards created as well, like Royal Judge, Outland Ranger. The cards that you get from those,
exactly.
They gotta be mythic as well.
Yeah. Mythic Spell World give you mythic.
Yep.
Random blue cards. Yeah. You should be able to play 100% mythic deck with everything mythic. That should be a goal. I think it's hilarious that Sweetie put that I don't even want to know how much gone into that. Like making all those mythic cards. Holy crap.
Just disenchant everything just to make that one deck.
Oh, no, because he had the other decks too.
You know what I mean, though. Like.
Oh well, yeah.
Like any that.
Well, it feels awesome though. It looked awesome. It was really fun. That is just some of the surprises. That's so much fun when we're spectating and watching monthly cups and tournaments overall. When the participants do something that's unexpected and funny for the audience and the viewers, it just adds so much flair to it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
So all kudos to Sweetie for doing that. I think that was great. Mythic rank. Oh yeah, that should be above God rank, right? Mythic rank. That's pretty dope. Maybe heck. Okay, we're getting into more cosmetics then. Maybe that could be a thing they could sell too. Like purchase like a mythic name, mythic like so your name in the game is mythic, or I don't know. They can customize so many things. It's just art. Make the artist's hands bleed. Make them draw everything.
Have an option eventually that you can choose what color your Faeria pool icon is, so it's not just the blue.
Oh yeah. Everything. Yeah, exactly.
Just to like that extent.
I have a
of
blood red
customization.
Faeria pool. Ho ho ho. Alright. So to end off this episode, what else do we think is gonna happen? I mean, I guess that we could just speak balance. Like, we know, because they said it, that there's gonna be balance changes coming Wednesday. Something I added to my notes, I remember it still, is that we talked about how many tournaments and cups there are, so this I feel is impossible for them to not do, but balance changes close to tournaments seems unavoidable at the moment, I guess, because we need balance changes, or at least I think so. I like to get the meta thrown up a little bit and be, changed.
I really like balance patches because it just resets the deck building. You have to look at cards new and synergies, and also right now is the perfect timing after monthly cup. So I'm totally fine with having this. I wouldn't be mad if this was after each monthly cup. And for balance patches, I think there's so many small tweaks that can still be made. Like, for example, one card like the Architect, the red card, it's a two cost card. If they just made it one mountain, it would maybe be viable because you can play turn 1. Just these super small changes, I hope we see more in the future. Another example would be the Ancient Herald buff that got 1 health. So all these super small changes is something I hope we get them as early as possible.
Just to make currently unplayed cards playable.
Yeah.
One kind of along like with that, I mentioned during our cast of the monthly cup was to make Imperial Engineer not just production, but activate structures that say activate. So instead of just production, which is going to be the next turn anyway, have that worded in as well, where it can activate a structure that you otherwise wouldn't be able to trigger production.
That's pretty interesting also, like, if you think about the synergy of the name, the engineer comes on and he activates the structure.
Yeah.
So you could use him the turn you play the structure.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are many small tweaks where I think you could just spice up the meta by having more ways how you can play each color. Because right now there's one dominating archetype, which like kind of pushes the other ways you could play another color to the side.
Yeah,
I think in terms of how frequently they do balance, most players want it to be after every cup, but I think after every second monthly cup, I think would be my preference now that I've started to realize decks more and more are missed each month, and like the Yellow Archer deck was very late to come back into the scene, and like that would have just been missed if they had done a balance patch before that came out. So I think roughly every 2 months is the ideal patch time, and then have it just after the monthly, which I think they've been really good about. I don't think there's been any patches just before monthly, so really good job on that.
Yeah, they've really tried to avoid that.
Yeah. What else do you think is, or what do you want to see in the balance patch, rather?
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty big topic. They've said some balance patch or some balance changes, so I assume it's going to be a small bit, but I would like to see a huge amount of changes. I think the most talked about cards in feedback though is Garridan reworked, Hate Seed with like a minimum cost of 2 or a cost increase, and then like something about blue they want nerfed. I don't think people
I've seen people been like, hey, please make green better, like make some of the like I guess unplayable green cards playable or.
I think that sums it up pretty well. Maybe we missed out some stuff about
I think
Archer.
I said on my stream and people were like, "You're
Archer.
crazy." I said that the Oaklin instead of last words should be gift. I mean, I did. Like, I was like, I mean, I said like, man, what if this was gift instead of last words? Wouldn't that be great? People are like, no. I would like that.
I think green would see a bit more play.
You think?
It definitely would.
Okay, so Lou quickly pointed out that Archer is a very complained about card.
Yeah.
I think some people touch on Charger too, but it's Archer that's the really frustrating card, because at least Charger dies off when it trades, or like dies off when it kills 2 creatures, whatever it be. Whereas Archer is just constantly shooting a creature. But then not only that, but then it's still on the board, right? So you're like, do I drop another creature? What if he just flash wins to shoot my other creature? You just want to concede whenever that happens.
Yeah.
So
What about
Archer
the Crusader?
Well,
Celos
the Crusader is really good right now because of the synergy with Sagittarius and Archer. So I assume if they nerf Archer, the Crusader won't be as volatile. So
because it's kind of hard to balance the Crusader, isn't it? Because people, I think most people I see, they kind of like, make it +1/+1, but that's like a huge change to it, because I think it's so sensitive to what that number is that I think the only way, if you touch the Celos Crusader, is to change the land requirements or like the cost of it. But
what I don't really like is that it's a yellow card and has such an insane growth potential in health.
Yeah.
Like you're known to have high health creatures in green mostly.
So what if it was +2/+1? Yeah,
something like that. Maybe increase the starting stat so that if your opening super bad and you can't buff him, like make him a 2/3 or a 2/4, so that you can play him and then get 2/2/+1. Because right now it just doesn't make sense that you can get
starting stats could be changed
16/16, and you can't kill it if you don't run hard removal. And usually you should have to tag your deck with hard removal against if you play green or something like that. But yeah.
I was gonna say go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you tell we're both Canadian?
You're so nice. So well mannered.
I was gonna say for the Crusader, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it gets changed to something more like what the Gabriel Archon currently is. Just drop it down to even drop it to 4 or buff the stats up and give it +2/2 if you attacked a god this turn, instead of the stacking to a huge point over the course of the game. Just give it that, so it fits in with the archetype of attack this turn and then play, your Kalim's Prayer, your Zealous Crusader as a bigger body. I think that could be a change that fits kind of the style that Yellow wants to go for in the way that it currently works.
Yeah, I think that has a huge synergy with Sagittarius, so it might still be problematic, but that's probably my favorite change suggestion to Zealous if you were to change it, because I feel like it actually needs to grow as much as it is in order to make Yellow Rush viable. If it were to be nerfed the amount it grows, I think that just kills off Yellow Rush. Like, they kind of need this as their like huge value card, because other colors have more broken things they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, they need that late win condition.
Yeah, and so having like a toggle version of Zealous would be a good change of being a value play, and it's thematic with hitting the face. I just worry that it will take away the ability to win, and maybe it's too easy to deal with. But
yeah, one thing that's similar with all cards that get really problematic is either they grow infinitely or they get reduced to a zero cost, like the old Colossus, for example, and now Hate Seeds. Like, this stuff is very hard to balance, and I think
it is.
If the cards come that support the synergy as well enough, it just can't be balanced anymore. It's just too good.
Yeah, and a big part of that is that it's super uninteractive when you play against it, because it doesn't matter what you do throughout the course of the game. If you're defending perfectly against a red aggro, eventually you're going to lose just because they play 2 free Hate Seeds and a giant Firebringer on one turn, and then you're just like, well, that's the game.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the event blue back when the blue fairy used to be really strong. Is everyone would run Disciples, and then it's like Spiral into another Spiral, and now you have like six Disciple that's still growing every turn.
Yeah,
and it's like insane that it can just infinitely grow. So definitely these are problem cards, but they're also cards that you build decks around. So they're thematic, and like it's cool to build around a card like that. So I don't know, as long as it's kept in check to not be overpowered too much, I think it's kind of cool to have build around me cards.
Yeah. Well, they did a great job with the Windstorm Charger and the Snowstorm Lancer, which used to be very problematic, and then they just added a cap. So maybe you could also add a cap to the Crusader. Let's say they can't get bigger than 10/10s.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like or what's the right number, but that's also a way approach to fix it.
Well, at least we gotta say that there is a bunch of good competitive archetypes and deck versions, right? Like I mean, I'm okay. I'm not. I want to say that I'm. I can get God Drank. I was God Drank like a season ago or something like that. But so it's nice to have some of the very best players on here. So to hear what you say. But from my experience, I think that there's some might say that the mid-range red is like dominating at the moment, but I really feel like there's a good variety of decks at the moment. So I'm, while balance changes is nice and we need it to keep it fresh, I'm pretty happy with the way that deck building is going in Faeria. Like we keep seeing a good variety, I think. What do you guys think on the top level?
Yeah, I think devs have found a really good balance point at like trying to balance around certain themes. Like the green-yellow sack deck had the new version of Soul Eater get introduced, and that's like a build around me card. Now decks are starting to play around that. Archon getting buffed to be triggered while on board, and just more blue synergy in general really made the blue 7-cost deck like start being really valuable. So I think these themed deck balancing they're doing is really good. With the exception of the yellow archer deck, that's just a bit crazy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, you can't make it perfect. Like,
yeah,
I don't think you'll ever make a game like I don't think they'll ever strike that like, oh, now we're happy, we're never gonna change anything, because eventually they're gonna release expansions anyway, I guess. But I think it's always just gonna be like, oh, we do a balance here, and then they have to kind of see what happens, where's the new tipping point, or where is the new OP cards or underused cards, right?
I think we got lots of stuff ahead with for us with the new expansions and stuff. Maybe they add a new color. I don't know. But
yeah, they're gonna add like
balance.
what is it, like 10 more cards before version 1.0.
But
That's
we've
what they've
already seen
said.
What Wish did to the meta.
Yeah, I mean, even more mixed color cards getting introduced would be really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna end this by asking like what yeah, what do you think, or yeah, what's the next card? Maybe that's one of the unannounced things for Wednesday. Maybe they'll actually introduce a new card.
No, they said in that.
Oh, they said that they won't.
New Dawn, it said there aren't new cards, but we're still planning to release 10 more before version 1.0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just while we're on the
Dang it.
topic of balance, I think something that not many people are asking for, but I think my preference would be in terms of the balance is to have just a cap at the moment on these like super snowbally cards like Disciple. The max it could grow is to like a 6/6. Zealous, like Lou pointed out, max grow to 10/10. Maybe Firebringer max grows to 7/7. Hate Seed max discount is like 2.
And then see what happens when you put the lid on that.
I think putting caps is the way to go without just having it be absurd sometimes.
Yeah. To me, that seems like, I don't know, it'll end up being kind of super awkward wording on cards.
Like so much text on some of them.
Yeah,
all that needs is like, bracket max.
Yeah, and I mean that's covers the wording, but I mean as a new player coming in, looking at the cards and going like, why is it like that? Why wouldn't they just balance the card to a point where it's reasonable? It kind of just looks awkward, at least in my perspective. I don't know if that's true or not for the way that like other people feel about it, but
I think most
fair.
people that play Faeria also enjoy it because of the complexity of the game.
Yep.
So, like we don't have the target group for the super casual players that like don't understand anything they're doing. They're just clicking random buttons like you do with other card games.
Yeah.
Like if you come to Faeria, you will have understanding for this, I think.
All right. We've definitely gone. How long have we gone? Shit, I don't even know. I'll cheat. I'll do uptime because that won't. It's not gonna be correct, but it's gonna be close to correct. Oh, it felt like we've gone 3 hours. We haven't even gone 3 hours because we started the streaming. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it's good. Like it feels like we're at the very end anyway, and we don't have to go 3 hours. That's what I told you guys before. That's definitely like our limit. That's our max limit to know when we have to freaking end, or we'll be. Sometimes we'll sit here at 3-hour mark and be like, we have so much more to talk about. But it's been a really, really good episode, and we do know we're gonna have to make another episode 11, probably a week or so after this Wednesday patch, to just talk about things we don't even know yet. So
once all the dust settles.
Yeah. So that's gonna be awesome. I mean, it's been 6 weeks since the last episode. That's not what the idea of the Kappa Council is. It's kind of, I think, it was thought like the average we wanted to do was like once every other week. So, when there's something to talk about. But yeah, do you guys want to add anything to anything?
Just once again about the Team Frost Cup, for people that are confused about that. It's an invitational cup, so it's not something you can just register to. It's people have been privately invited. So those players are already selected, and it'll be broadcasted on one of the Twitch channels, but there's no signing up for that. It was invitational.
Then we got that cleared up. All right. But it's still looking forward to it, though. Obviously, I work Fridays, always, so probably come home and maybe see the ending of it, hopefully. That'd be cool. Yeah, anyone else? Anything? Nope? Yes? Nope?
I think that's it.
Yeah, that covers it.
We can at least say that we got some awesome, cool content coming out here on Metagamingtv. That is the Kappa Council episode 10 is gonna be on YouTube real soon, like tomorrow probably. I think Scorch 13 here. You have Turning Point. Coming out as well.
I will have another Turning Point video done this week.
All right.
Should be. Well, I think I have basically the script done, so I'll probably record it maybe later in the week.
So we have that
Depends
coming
on how
out
it goes,
later this week, probably. Lou, Kapu, do you have anything in the pipeline that you want to promote?
Not really. Just for people, one thing that I wanted to mention is that you can not only follow our Twitch channels, but you can also follow the games individually. So you can always see who's streaming Faeria. I always check out the Faeria streams like that to see who's online.
Oh, I started doing that since they introduced that. Like, you just click follow the game. I have a bunch of game directories I'm following now.
Yeah, and just that I really love the game. It has so much depth, and I also love the community, and I'm really happy to be part of it. And that's it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're so happy you're part of it, man. It's so good. Kumbaya.
Thanks for having me again as well.
Oh yeah. You're also welcome, Kapu. No, it's just great. Like, it's great. I mean, I don't think. I can't think of another game community that I've been so much in love with. That is Faeria's community is great. Everybody's awesome. Everyone is awesome, and you guys are awesome. You guys who are watching, please hit that follow button, or if you're on YouTube, you could obviously hit like. Hitting like is the best thing you can do, and then after that hitting subscribe, which is totally different than on Twitch, which on Twitch costs money, but whatever you feel like doing. All the thumbs up and all the follows, likes, subs, all that is freaking awesome. I am actually gonna continue streaming after this, so we'll have a 5-minute thing happening. I'm not sure how long, but my day rhythm is screwed up, so I'm actually thinking of trying some ranked gameplay. So if you want to stick around, see some ranked gameplay on here. The season reset like 10 days ago. I have not played since then, so I'm doing the climb from 10 up to God. Will I get there? I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna play Red mid-range. I'm actually gonna play. I'm actually gonna try Red Burn, because that went well at the end of last season for me. I thought that was fun. I really like that. I think it's a bit. It's fun to win by letting your opponent.
Burn can be pretty decent against Archer, so if you play against that,
yeah,
awesome.
Not the worst matchup.
Yes, great. I have no idea how it's gonna match up actually. So it's gonna be. It's just the one that I have that I feel like, oh, I'm having great fun with this. It's going good. Like, yeah, it's good fun. I haven't updated my constructed decks like since last season, so it's just still the same basically. So that's gonna happen. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you Lou, Cappuccino, Scorch 13 for. Being here on another episode, and hopefully we'll have you again in the near future. Again. All right, everybody have a good night.
Thanks.
And
all right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.